about you, but I can't even stand your voice.
I think you're the biggest asshole alive.
It's gonna be a great show.
Let's kick it. I'll say kick it, and you'll just kick it with a tasty groove, okay? 1, 2, 3, kick it. Kick it. Come on. God damn it. Put you one time, kick it. What the?
Alan Cox.
Here we go. He'll ad-lib. He'll be fine.
It's the Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS.
Hey, what's going on, gang? Good afternoon. Hi there. Greetings, welcome, salutations. High fives, fist bumps, whatever. Or maybe just kind of a limp-wristed wave from across, like you don't even care. You just kind of, whatever it is. My name is Alan Cox. Thank you for being here. Say hi to Bam Bam Bill Squire. He's right over there.
Yo, creepy hugs.
Mary Santora is in the room.
What up?
And Poundcake is not. He's back in Studio G.
Afternoon, white people. Hello.
Where he has fashioned for himself a little fart detective agency.
Fart detective.
Yeah. If you'd like to join us, please do. Phones are a little wonky, but I've tested them a couple of times. They seem to be working. I hope they do for you. 216-578-1007. If you want to call us live, 800-348-1007. 35192 if you want to send me a text. I'll see all of those, even if I don't respond. If you listen on iHeartRadio, you can leave little messages there, too. Alan, breaking news. I've texted you before. I'm for DUI UPS guy. And I just got my 50.
Jeez,
My
dude.
goodness.
You're not helping yourself.
He said it's been 20 years since my last DUI. So he had a pretty good run, but after 2 decades, most people after 2 decades of anything, they go, I think I got it out of my system. Mm-hmm. But nope, you get that false sense of security. It's like people who go, I've been feeling pretty good. I don't think I need my antipsychotic meds anymore. He's still awaiting court, so hopefully it'll be dropped down to something else. What does a DUI get dropped down to? I've never had one.
I haven't either.
I don't think any of us have had one.
Yeah.
Reckless op or something?
Maybe.
Reckless
I think
operation, is that what it is? Driving under the influence gets dropped. Well, in Ohio, they're OVIs, right? Get dropped to reckless operation. I love the tiniest gradations that are in
I don't know if that's true.
legalese.
I'm
No, you
just
could
saying.
be right. I don't know.
I feel like reckless op would be like if you crash and you're intoxicated, so you would get a DUI because you're driving under the influence, and then reckless operation while you're driving, and then you hit something, so you're reckless.
Well, DUI guy, text me back and let me know in what span of time you got your first 4 DUIs, because we know that you haven't had one in the last 20 years. Just got your 5th, and again has stayed gainfully employed. I guess sounds like he's not getting him on the job, which is great. But again, you don't want to get him at all, ideally. I'm curious in what frame of time you got your first 4 DUIs. Like if you got all 4 of them in 18 months. And then he,
You go to jail, man.
Well,
He wouldn't be able to have a license.
There seem to be a lot of people driving around who've had many DUIs. Aren't in jail.
Not in succession like that. I think there's a time limit on it.
Well, but they're all in succession. You get one after the other.
But what I'm saying is in 4 months, if you got 4 DUI, if you got DUIs once a month for half a year,
you'd probably be dead by then, but yeah. Possibly dropped down to physical control, someone says. Now, that sounds like a Skinamax late-night movie. David Duchovny, maybe a young Dana Delaney. Physical Control, premiering 1 a.m. on Cinemax. Well, hey, what a weekend. I'll tell you what, the biggest losers of the weekend, who do you think they are?
The Cavs?
Nope. Fans of 2 Hours to Midnight, our brand new metal show here on MMS, which just keeps getting bent over and greased up because of that goddamn rain delay in the second game of the Saturday Guardians doubleheader. Our show starts at 11:30, and because at midnight of every day, new programming begins, we got to play about 5 songs, 11:30 to midnight. So the biggest losers, fans of that show. And me, because I have egg on my face. So we'll try it again this Saturday. I think they're out of town, so
Yeah,
maybe
but that doesn't mean anything. They're still on the radio.
Maybe they're playing somewhere with a dome, and it doesn't matter what the weather is. But that was, listen, otherwise I had a pretty good weekend. In-laws were in town. It's always nice to see them. We had nice dinner on Saturday night at a place we'd never been to before.
Oh, yeah?
And I don't want to say because it wasn't that great.
Okay.
Nice dinner that kind of sucked.
Well, it was not. The company was great. I mean, no, the food wasn't bad. It's just not my vibe.
Mm-hmm.
And my daughter's soccer.
Means it's probably awesome.
The in-laws. No. Well, whatever. I mean, I'm sure it is to some people.
Do you believe they served a salad before your entree? Who can eat that much?
I always eat the salad. What are you talking about?
We
Love
know
a
you.
salad.
Yeah, okay.
I had tabbouleh as part of my thing. It was great.
I love tabbouleh.
My daughter was supposed to begin her soccer season on Saturday morning, but everything got rained out. So that's why the in-laws were in the first place. So then we were kind of, whatever, playing around from there. Tomorrow, by the way, wait, let me see. Is this person writing me back? I'm 48, so in 8 years I got 4 DUIs. That's a 5 DUI guy. 48, so he stopped getting, so he got all 4 DUIs between 21 and 28.
That's a short amount
Or
of time.
29. Is it?
In between, absolutely.
To get 4 DUIs in 8 years, 1 every 2 years?
4 DUIs is a
I
lot,
think
period.
well,
But-
understood. I'm just saying within the context of this guy's DUI record, he just got his 5th. He got 4 in 8 years.
So
1 every
this-
2 years doesn't sound like
That's
a lot.
That's
That
a
is
lot.
For a guy who keeps getting them,
Think about
I
the
would think
time-
he'd get them every 6 months.
But think about the times
Okay.
that he didn't get caught. He was probably driving drunk that entire time.
Also, so I just looked it up, and this is for Ohio. 4th DUI offense is considered a felony, requires minimum 60 days in jail, $1,350, and a 3-year license suspension. So after that 4th DUI, according to this, he couldn't drive for 3 whole years.
But that's what it currently is. If he got these DUIs 20 years ago,
Oh, yeah, it
they
might
probably
have
had
been
different
different.
laws.
I'm hearing from a lot of people, too, who have gotten them that it's also you might get out of it based on how the cop wrote it up, like a technicality. So, listen, I guess the best you can hope for if you're one of these people that just can't manage to drive sober. Boy, and you thought that all those commercials and billboards would have really taken root. They tell you right there,
Wait a minute,
drive sober or get
though. Pulled over.
pulled over. They're trying to tell you. Buzzed driving is drunk. If billboards can't do their job in this country, what are we left to do? What?
This says, now I'm on a bunch of different websites, like law offices' websites. This says if you're convicted of 4 DUIs in 10 years or 6 in 20 years, it's a felony. So even the fact of the matter that he hasn't had him in 20 years, if he gets one more, that's a second felony for him.
By the way, I'll be honest with everyone, as I always am, and say that I'm not the least bit, or not just a little bit, rather, disappointed in our own Mary Santora. For somebody who was such
Disappointed.
an inveterate, reckless drunk for so long, to not have the common courtesy to at least be our DUI expert.
No, I'm very lucky.
Good for
Very
you,
lucky.
bad for the show.
That last day you were drinking, you were very lucky.
There's no reason I shouldn't have had a DUI that day. I
I thought you did.
No, I got in an accident.
I know.
didn't get a DUI.
You called me.
I know. Oh,
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. I was the last person you called, and then it went.
My
you
phone
hu-
died.
You hung up. You hung up on me. You're like, and then like the cops were like there on the scene, and I was like, "Where'd you go?" So I'm panicking and calling to see if you got taken to jail.
Arrested, yeah.
So then like later, I finally went over to your house, and your car was there, but you wouldn't answer because you were passed out.
Yeah. There
Yeah.
were
All
several.
these
That was a terrifying day for me.
All these people out there getting pinched. Mary Santora is just out there dancing between the raindrops.
All I'm saying is if you've lived the life I live, you might believe a little bit in fate. That's all. That's all. That's all I'm saying.
You think it was fate that you didn't get a DUI?
Yes. Because if I would have lost my license, my comedy career would have been over. And I'm meant to be.
Oh, so fate only happens when it turns out good.
No, fate happens when it turns out bad, too. Yeah.
I would think with all that drinking and driving that fate would have intensified to the point where you would have absolutely gotten a DUI.
Well, I
You're
can't
probably fated
speak for
to-
fate. I don't know.
Oh, I thought you just did.
No, I don't tell you what it does.
Oh.
I tell you when it happens.
Who
I
can
don't know why
I
it
don't-
happens.
Yes, just that
It's
it happens.
just meant to happen.
I can't explain it. It's
I
right
can't.
there in black and white
Listen,
with the
Science
lights
is
behind
hard.
me.
Science is
I know.
hard.
I get it.
Science is a liar sometimes.
I got to take a break. If you want to send a text, 35192. If you're on hold, I'll get you on the way back, and we'll be back after. Another chance to win some money, by the way. Don't sleep on that. 2:30, next keyword for you to grab a grand courtesy of the Buzzard book.
It's the Alan Cox Show.
On our free iHeartRadio app,
to our heads.
I'm Summer Rain Oaks. I'm a plant expert and author. On the Bad Seeds podcast, we explore why your favorite houseplants might have a criminal record. Listen to Bad Seeds on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Fun fact, celebrity deaths, like testicles, sometimes come in threes. The Alan Cox Show
on 100.7
WMMS.
There were a handful of celebrity deaths. I don't know if there were 3 of them. I saw a couple of big ones over the weekend. 35192, want to send a text? I have another $1,000 for you. In about 6 or 7 minutes, 2:30, listen for that next keyword. Got your grand an hour courtesy of the Buzzard Bookie. So that'll be here in a moment. Hey, Mason, what's going on?
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Yeah, you had said that the DUIs, what they get brought down to are all reckless ops. I've had 10 of them, and it took me a long time to realize.
My goodness.
10 DUIs. All Mason is doing is drinking and driving. Wow, all right. How much time in jail did you spend?
No more than 18 days.
This is what I'm talking about. Guys got 10 DUIs, 18 days in jail. All right, but there's no way to know how much that is, if you were to average it out. But, right. When was the last one?
How many you get within 10 years?
How many you get within 10 years? And you got 10 in...
3 in 10 years. The last time, but I have them in different states, and they don't count each other's DUIs in other states, so they don't sentence you if you have them from out of state.
Wait. So how many total do you have?
8, because 2 of them got dropped on to a reckless stop.
Well, that's just a formality. You have 10 DUIs. You got pinched 10 times for DUI, right? In 30 years?
Right, called fewer credits.
So 10 of them in 30 years in 3 different states.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right.
I was in a business where it was promoted to drink, and we just partied and drove back to our hotels if we were out of town. It just was a thing.
Yeah, Mason, I'm in a business that promotes drinking too, but I don't have DUI 1, so it's still a matter of
personal
so
responsibility.
Yeah, there were people in multiple states that Mason was out there that had no idea that he was in town. Right at that point, what were the states?
New York, Florida, and Ohio.
New York, Florida, and Ohio. All right. Were they evenly spaced out, or did you get like 1 in one, 2 in another? Like, which state holds the record for Mason DUIs?
One after another.
Wow. All right.
Got a couple, one back into another, but yeah, to stop the drinking and driving, just quit drinking.
And so the last one was when?
About 7 years ago.
7.
And I almost ran a police officer over, and that kind of, I could have hurt him and their families, and so I just don't drink no more.
The previous 9 didn't lock that little nugget of info for you in. It was when you almost hit the cop.
No,
they would have put you in prison for life.
What I can get away with.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was the problem.
That's what people are doing, man. I guess they figure whatever they can get away with. It's how old are you, Mason?
48.
48. So your last DUI was when you were 41.
Yeah, 40. 42.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Are you sober now or just more careful?
Yeah, for almost 5 years.
Hey, there we go.
Now you're talking Mary's language.
Congrats.
There you go. Now you're talking her. Okay, listen, Mason.
Mary, why'd you quit so soon? It took him 10.
Yeah, come on, quitter. Mason, I'm glad.
I just had to do it a different way.
Yes, that's right. I'm glad you're alive. I'm glad everyone around your car when you were behind the wheel is alive. And I appreciate the call. Thank you. There's Mason in Cleveland, 10 DUIs in 30 years in 3 states.
I was going to say, he's doing
Ohio, New York, and Florida.
He's doing DUIs like I do gambling. I can't do it in Ohio anymore, so now when I'm out of state, I go to the casino. He's like,
you've been banned from DUIs in Ohio.
He's like, if I get one more in Ohio, I go to jail. No, I haven't gambled in 30 days.
Okay, good.
29 days. I haven't even bought so much as a scratch off. But I was doing that for a while. Every time I was out of state, I'd look up if there was a casino near me. And that's what he's doing. He's like, I get one more in Ohio, I lose my license. I better take a trip.
Do you have like a ticker on your phone that tells you when's the last time you gambled?
Yes.
She can smell it.
It's just like when
an OSHA calendar?
Well, kind of. It's an app called Nomo, N-O-M-O, and it's made like for sobriety calendars, so you can have accountability and things like that.
It's just.
It also lets you know when there are guys around you who are on Grindr and you don't want to be anywhere near them.
No mo.
Poundcake, you get it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Poundcake, did you get Did you get it?
Yes.
Get it? Because.
Yeah, no Grindr for me.
Listen,
no
she is. Listen, Mary's over there. When she's out of state, is it you've banned yourself in Ohio just because of the proximity?
Correct.
You're like, if I didn't ban myself, I'd be there all the time.
Correct.
When you're out of state, which you are a lot,
Yes.
you'll gamble.
Where
were you this weekend?
I was in Fort Collins, Colorado.
Colorado.
Weekend.
And you didn't gamble in Colorado?
No, I haven't gambled in a month. 28 days since.
Now,
I
is
last
that
gambled.
because of proximity, or
No.
is it because? Okay.
No, I'm trying to stop. I'm trying to stop altogether because that's what'll happen is I'll have cash from my weekends out of state and I'll take it to the casino and lose it all. So I come home with no money. I'm like, well, that was a cool weekend.
Where was the last place you gambled?
Detroit.
So theoretically,
No. The last place I gambled was New York on my way to my college gig in New York.
theoretically, the pull of gambling, the allure of gambling for you, is stronger than wanting to come home, pockets full of cash from the stand-up you did.
You're conflating the two. It's not the allure of gambling. It's the thought of I can
make this
come
into
home.
more money.
Right.
Well,
If
no,
I get-
but that is the allure.
Well, sure, but
I
it's
can
not
double
like,
my money. That's what I'm saying. I mean, just shorthand for me.
I'm not
is-
going because I even enjoy slot machines anymore. I'm going because I'm like, okay, I made I'm up $500 this weekend. I can turn that into $2,000 if I just stop at the casino.
I see. So in your mind, the fact that you're up at all means, well, this is just gravy.
Sure. Yeah.
Otherwise, you'd be happy breaking even?
Yes.
Huh. Rather than coming home with extra money.
Well, that's the problem, is that I'm convinced that if I go to the casino, I will come home with extra money.
And sometimes you do.
Well, like the
No.
time that,
Oh,
well,
you don't?
One
Well,
time.
one
then
time.
what's
I
the
have
co-
been
what's-
gambling for 12 years.
Then what's the convincing part?
Or you can gamble at 18. What are you saying?
You said I'm convinced. What's the
I have
convincing
a
part?
sickness.
Well, I
My
understand.
brain doesn't work like
I-
other people's brain does.
I understand that, but you still have to figure it out if you're going to be on the road and go, well, I mean, because you're on the road a
There's no
lot.
other way to say it. I mean, a gambling addiction, there's studies done on it where gambling addiction specifically changes the chemistry of your brain.
It's dopamine.
In other ways.
No, I get all that. I'm just saying, like,
So I don't know how else to explain it.
well,
Other than my brain
just at
does
the
not
mercy of it.
work. My brain does not work like other people's brains do.
well, we knew that.
And all
I'm talking.
gambling
Let's keep it to
addicts
the
are like
gambling.
that. That's what I'm
s-
saying.
What I'm saying is, so you're just at the mercy of that when you're on the road,
Yes, it's an addiction.
huh?
But
I mean, people stop their addictions all the time. You've done it here at home. You've legally required
That is
yourself.
the only reason I've stopped. And even after I legally required myself, I was still buying scratch-off tickets and rippers and playing the Mega Millions and
But
things
you
like that.
could theoretically file that paperwork in every state you travel.
Yes, but I mean, you have to go into a casino in order to file the paperwork.
But you're going in there already to gamble.
But my point is that if I wanted to ban myself in every state, I would have to find a casino in every state, go in, fill out the paperwork. It takes like 2 hours.
Well,
It's
no,
not
what
an
I'm
easy
saying is,
process.
aren't there states that you travel to more than others? Like you're not
Yes.
going to Wyoming. You're going to Colorado and Wisconsin and
Yeah.
Michigan and
Mhm.
Washington State and, you know.
I could,
So
yeah.
that 2 hours is not worth it to you.
I'm just trying to not have to have it get to that point.
Gotcha.
I was like, now all states allow gambling either. Oh,
Yeah, there's only 4 that don't.
Yeah, most states.
Well,
Utah,
Ohio just got-
Hawaii, Texas doesn't have any legal casinos. They have a couple, or they don't have any like state-funded casinos. They have a couple. I think they have 3 Indian casinos.
They're usually on a
Um,
reservation.
Yeah.
I was gonna say because Ohio just got on board 15 years ago, 10 years ago. We didn't have
less than that. The casino didn't come downtown.
Yeah, but we had this because the one downtown is fairly new and it's changed management.
You mean like the
twice.
Racino and things like that?
Yeah, but like
That's all gambling. I mean, the horse racing's been around since like the 80s.
Well, I remember my uncle
1880s.
My uncle was all mad. He was like, "They're gonna bring in mob money. They're gonna bring in mafia money here to Ohio."
Who said that?
This is my uncle.
He was under the impression it wasn't already here?
I remember
in a variety of other endeavors?
Well, I remember when they were like voting on it. I don't think I was old enough to vote on it yet, but I was excited because I was like, "Ooh,
And it's not mob money anymore. It's cartel money.
Okay. Well, still, he was like, "Oh, people are gonna come in here with their mob money and a bunch of crime, like it's the 20s or something like that."
Yeah. See, get out of here. Yeah.
And he was like, "I'm not looking forward to
These guys are going to come in and sully the crime-free area of Cleveland, Ohio. Up till now, nothing. It's been a shining city on a hill until these vice lords get in here and start peddling their satanic wares."
And all the states that you named, Mary, literally make so much sense. Like Utah, I mean, they're the biggest Mormon state out of everyone, so they don't have much of anything. Even porn, is illegal there. Texas.
Yeah, but they consume the most porn out of everybody.
Of course. You'll get around stuff just because it's not sanctioned by the government doesn't mean people aren't doing it.
I didn't know if, the URL was blocked out there. Do you have to have, a separate server or something?
No, I mean, you can just get on. People watch porn crazy out there.
How do they enforce it, though?
It's not illegal out there. I don't know where you got this thing that says it's illegal.
Oh, I thought
they're trying to make it illegal, but obviously a lot of people like porn, and so they don't want to do that publicly. Okay. Let me give you some money here. It's $1,000. You do with it whatever you see fit. It's a grand from the Buzzard Bookie. Good luck.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard Bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Happy. That's happy. Enter it now at WMMS.com.
If you listen to us on iHeartRadio, tell me where you do that. Our bureau chiefs all throughout these United States, and you can leave us messages there too.
Just to kind of reiterate what Poundcake was talking about, I'm a straight heterosexual guy, and there is no amount of money that I would ever take to touch a D. I'm good with that.
Oh, we were talking about that last week. His mouth sounds way too moist to be a
to
fully
be
straight guy.
I'm a hetero.
For there not to be, for there to be any money whatsoever.
And I was talking about signing documents. He said he wouldn't even touch it, which I don't believe.
Well, I'm going to assume that guy is single because you're only making decisions for yourself, and he might be right. But I think we're all of the belief that there would be a number.
Everyone's got a number.
If you had a wife or a girlfriend, she would be mad with you if you didn't take the money. If you got to that point, everyone would have a number. Now, Bill's was surprisingly low.
$50?
I think he said $20,000.
No, 200,000.
Oh, 200,000. Hey, 20 grand's a lot of money.
That is a lot of
money. 200 could fault you for that.
$200,000 and you'd sign a document?
And gulp.
I mean, that's not the
and gulp.
Yeah. But it's one of those things where it's it's not going to completely change my life, but it's going to make me real comfortable.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, I'm not turning it down.
Yeah.
Would you turn down? I mean, you already do it for free, so.
Yeah.
Well,
we assume you do it for free.
For a woman, you've never been full on with a woman, Mary. So.
Yes, I have.
Oh, I didn't know that. Let's be honest, I didn't know that.
I've hooked up with girls before. It's not my thing. It's always been when I've been drunk. And always the next day, I'm like, man, what am I doing?
Remember when Mary came in here that one Monday and she looked like she had just housed a whole box of glazed donuts? That was
wash my face.
That was that weekend. She wanted to remember it.
Now, were the girls that you were hooking up with, were they gay or were they just experimental too?
I was actually most of the time it was group stuff.
Oh.
Where it was twice with another couple. So my ex and I did a threesome one time, once with another couple, and then in college I hooked up with a couple. So I guess maybe I haven't done fully just
with
me
a girl.
And one other girl.
Yeah, because that would be I don't know, that's intimate.
Yeah, no. I've never gone home with a lesbian.
Well, yeah, you get to tap out in a threesome.
Yeah.
If you want to.
But
well,
it was no, it was never
couple.
The rule was that my ex wasn't allowed to no, he could touch it, no insertion.
Oh.
Why was that the rule?
The other girl. I don't know. That was just the rule we.
That was your rule?
Yeah. That you could fool around, but you couldn't.
Well, what couldn't you do?
Put it in.
I could do whatever I wanted.
Wait a second.
What do you mean?
You're such chick rules, but hey, let's do it. How many people in this?
Well, with the girl, there's always no insertion, no cross insertion.
Well, then that's not a real threesome.
If we were with another couple, the girls
threesome?
could hook up, the guys could.
You got to be able to do whatever you want to do. There's three of you. Do whatever you want to do.
I think there's still three people, which constitutes a threesome. It doesn't matter what's being put where. There's three people engaging in sex. In some fashion.
Rules. What are these rules?
Those rules are so that you have to set ground rules.
So he had a rule Well, you're not talking safe words here. You're saying you told him you can't do this. I can do whatever I want.
Boundaries.
Yeah, because if you don't set those rules
you
and
know
you
how to
go
set
into
boundaries.
it, I do know how to set boundaries. If
You're
you
much
don't-
better at it now.
If you don't set boundaries and you go into it willy-nilly, then it can make it super uncomfortable.
People can get their feelings hurt real
because
bad.
yeah, and,
well, then
and
you
may
shouldn't
think
be
you're-
having a threesome.
That's why you talk
Get
about
your
the boundaries.
feelings hurt. What is this?
You talk about the boundaries beforehand so that everyone's on the same page.
So the three of you had a meeting.
No,
and
we were just like, hey, here's what it is.
Yeah. Put it in
You're
Lotus
You're
Notes.
starting to fool around and you say, you can't put that there. Everything else is fair game.
There was
mouth stuff was okay.
Mouth stuff's okay.
I had a threesome once, and the girl afterwards was like, because we didn't set those boundaries, and I wasn't the one that started it.
Yeah.
Like I walked into it where like they started fooling around and like, hey, get over here. We want to do some
doing
stuff.
this, yeah.
And I was like, okay.
Get over.
We
Hey,
need
get
help.
over here.
Yeah.
Hey, I need a third.
You
I need
have
a fourth.
Well, it's not even I need a third or a fourth. You have a piece of equipment that's very important to what
So
we're doing.
I
right
get
now.
there and they start doing stuff, and I do stuff to both of them, and then afterwards, my the girl that I was with, I'm trying to keep it anonymous-ish, was like,
threesome.
it was really hard to watch that. I'm like, okay, but
you
I'm
called
just
me in.
you brought this on. I did not. I didn't even know this was going on. So really, I should be mad at you because you
forced me.
Were hooking
Forced
up
me.
Well, you were hooking up with the girl without. I didn't say you could do that.
Yeah,
like I didn't say
without
that was okay. But
expressed
I'm
permission.
cool with it. So how come you can't be cool?
Dude, I hate a beggar. Like I've had a couple threesomes or foursomes or orgies or parties or whatever. And
Well, what were they? Those are all very different things.
I've had all of them.
Okay.
He's done the most.
I've been to sex parties. I've had foursomes. I've done stuff with couples. I've done stuff. I've just lived. I've lived, okay? And in one of these occasions, it was during the gay games. It was the same day I found out Robin Williams died. It was the exact same day.
And that's how you help your grief.
I was in the middle of doing stuff, and someone looked at their
Why
phone.
don't they call the gay games the games? GAYMES.
No, why?
No
Man, it'd be great
alliteration.
branding. Great branding.
But
Go ahead.
This guy was just begging. He was just like, hey, he wanted to, do some stuff to me, backdoor action. I'm like, no. I'm like, I don't know you like that. He's like, please. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. He's like, please.
He couldn't find anybody else to bottom.
He did. He just wanted me to. He saw,
Well, if he
saw
was
my rump. And
if he was begging and he's surrounded by dudes, that means that everybody else had turned him down.
it was 3 tops, including me, and then another bottom. And so it was 1 bottom for 4 people. I'm like,
oh.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why
he had a bad night.
Guy was exhausted.
That's why it took the 4 tops so long to get inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because it had such a negative connotation at the time.
See,
That's not what we mean by doo-wop.
It's such a turnoff, though. He was like, please. I'm like, ugh.
See, now that you say that, here's the thing. The reason why I did that with my ex is because he and I.
That's how Mary's ex was begging during their
Well,
threesome.
no, he and I rarely had sex. Like I should have never been in the relationship as long as I was. But like when it was just me and him, I mean like a couple times a month we would have sex. And it was like he refused to go down on me.
So
He
you guys
would
really
say-
weren't into each other.
No, we were just both. And I know it sounds crazy to say this. We were both drunk for 3 years. That's truly what it was.
Oh,
We
I
were
see.
hammered the entirety of our relationship. Our entire relationship revolved around craft beer and whiskey. And
It's like leaving Las Vegas.
well, in order to get him to be with me more, I would do those things because he would be intrigued when we brought other people in. And every time we did that afterward, I hated it. I was like, this is not who I am. I'm not a polyamorous person. I'm a very jealous person. I don't like this. But it felt like the only way I could get him to be with me was to do, like, I don't know if that's extreme, but like, it wasn't happening
whatever works
between
for you.
us. But it didn't
Well, it
work for
obviously
me. That's
didn't
the whole
work, yeah.
point. It
That's the
didn't work for me.
No, after a while, but you were.
No, I never liked it.
Oh, I
It
see.
was something that I
You were
did
just
so
going
that
along with it,
yes,
yeah.
so that he would sleep with me. I'll do whatever you want as long as we have sex. God, I was such a different person then. I think about it, it makes me so mad.
I was such a different person then. I've learned so much.
I have.
Would you say
That's
you're
good.
a better person now or then?
I am a 1,000% a better person now. Are you kidding me?
Oh, man.
I was so insecure. Whatever you want, honey, anything.
I'll do whatever
Yes.
you want, baby. Please don't hurt me, babe. I'll have your
Just
money
don't
for
leave
you.
me.
I got your money, baby. All right, I got to take a break. 35192 if you want to text, and we'll come back.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7
Go to OrangeTheoryFitness.com and tell them Poundcake sent you.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
100.7 WMMS, Cleveland.
Time to give stuff away. Time to give stuff away. Time to give stuff away.
All right, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is in theaters everywhere on Friday, May the 5th. But we are going to do a screening of it a couple of nights prior. So if you want to get there and see Guardians of the Galaxy 3 early, Wednesday, May 3rd at Cinemark Valley View. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 opens everywhere. Friday, May 5. A couple of passes here for you to see it early, courtesy of MMS. Good luck. Caller 10. These are yours. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
The words radio and Ohio both end in I-O. And I-O is one of the moons of Jupiter. Have fun trying to figure out whatever the that means. I-O, I-O. It's the Alan Cox Show.
On 100.7 WMMS.
Guardians baseball tonight on MMS. We drop out a couple of minutes early. 6:10 is your first pitch tonight. Here at home, the Colorado Rockies, who have had, as their name implies, rocky start to the season. They are 6-17, so they're not setting the world on fire yet. Guardians are at exactly 500. And it is the first of 3 tonight here at home. They'll play them tonight and tomorrow at 6:10. And then Wednesday afternoon, what?
Nothing. Everything's fine.
Was that you?
I was pulling up our live stream.
Oh, I thought you burped.
Oh, no. I was pulling up the live stream because I like to see Cody sometimes when I can look at everybody. But carry on. Okay. I didn't have the computer.
It's okay. I thought you were.
Yeah, it sounded almost like a burp.
Like a little gurgle or something. All right. Well, Poundcake, she wants to see you.
It just feels
That's
complete
sweet.
sometimes.
All right. How do you feel about seeing me? Because there I am.
Well, I can.
Hi, Mary.
I used to be able to see
Hi.
you.
Hi.
And then you close the
That's right.
windows on me.
That's right. Hi.
Hello.
That guy walking by just waved at you, too.
Well, that's okay, too.
Yeah.
We're all inclusive.
Mm-hmm.
As the one studio here at iHeart Cleveland with a street side window, people walk by. Who knows what'll take place on these? We're so close to the east side. Anyway, Rockies Guardians tonight, 6:10 here on MMS. The only person pleased about the Cavaliers situation right now, Alan Cox, because I thought it was best of 5. And so I was at a function with some friends yesterday out in Kent, and we were talking about how piss poor the Cavs have been playing with Donovan Mitchell. He put up 11 points.
Yeah.
So that New York crowd is getting into these kids' heads there on the Guardians, or the Cavs rather. And so the Cavs come back home Wednesday night, hopefully to get a win. If not, obviously they're out. But I was thinking they were out yesterday.
Nope, they're all best of 7 now.
And so pleased to see that they weren't.
They haven't had a best of 5 series in the first round in 20-something years.
Well, as I am older than that
but
and have no concept of time, I was very, very happy when I got home. We were just standing there talking about it, me and Polk and Burge and Beater. And I'm like, oh, God, that was all I was thinking is that they were out. And then I got home and I was looking at, and I go, oh, they're still in. Because I got money on the Cavs. So make something happen, please, for AC. What?
Baseball's best of 5, right? When it comes to the World Series. I think I was
No.
Not just the World Series at the beginning, like the playoffs.
Okay.
Those earlier games are best of 5.
The wild card series is best of 3.
Right.
And then the divisional round is best of 5.
Okay, and then the series is 7.
Then the league championship is best of 7, and the World Series is best of 7.
Baseball, yeah, baseball. Didn't feel it all of that. Baseball, yeah, baseball. It's fun just swinging the bat.
Anyway, Colorado Rockies, your Cleveland Guardians tonight. I don't know if it's supposed to rain again. That's all it's been doing. So I don't know.
I was at that game yesterday, and it was cold.
Brian and his daughter went.
It was snow out where we were.
We were watching the Cavs game and then keeping an eye on what the Guardians game was more fun, obviously, because that Cavs game was a bummer. But it was still fun to go out there and just, be a little bit cold for a while because then you get
Is
to
that
go
fun?
and be warm. Because I love the warm up feels so nice.
Like, coming in from being cold is nice.
It is very nice. And it wasn't like the coldest. It was, you were a little chilly, but it wasn't. You would probably have hated it, but I can handle it.
I called Brian and I was like, it was all loud. I was like, what are you guys doing? He's like, we're at the baseball game. I was like, isn't it like 40 degrees there? He goes, yeah, we brought a blanket. There was him, his buddy, and his daughter. I was like, you brought one blanket for 3 people?
It was like a mid-season Browns game.
Yeah, that's all right.
I was like, I have extra blankets in my car. He's like, nah, we're going to be fine. And then as soon as I got home yesterday, I was like, yeah, dude, it was pretty cold. Like, we were freezing the whole time.
They almost got swept. So it was a good game yesterday for them to win because that would have been...
Josh Bell had a good game.
That would have been a downer.
That was nice. And I tried the Happy Dog kiosk, and I got I was like, you know what?
Fruit Loops?
I'm feeling, I didn't do the Fruit Loops one. I did one that's even, I think, wilder than the Fruit Loops one. The Fruit Loops one, it was too much for me because it's Fruit Loops and then like Chili Mac.
Yeah.
And I was just like, that's going to be
There's a
so
lot going on,
messy.
yeah.
Fruit Loops and Chili Mac?
Yeah, and
going
a
on.
hot
boy.
dog.
Yeah.
And so I would try it, but I just wasn't in the mood for that. So I was like, the other one was, it's a hot dog with crunchy peanut butter on it and then alien relish and then sriracha. And I was like, I might take one bite and throw this away, but I'm going to give it a shot. It was actually pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
I dug it. I was sitting there eating it with my friends that were with me. We're looking at like, what the hell are you eating? I'm like, it's called hot dogs.
Yeah. Learn about it.
It's like, where'd you get that? I'm like, where'd you think I got it? It's Happy Dog. They have the weird hot dogs. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. The sriracha has a little bite to it. All the flavors actually work pretty well together. They know what they're doing over there.
Alan, do you think Mary would honestly tell you how much she has lost or won at a casino in a single day?
Well, she's told us how much she was won.
The most I've ever won in a casino was $7,000.
And that was recent.
That was right before you went to...
Well, and honestly, that's
what's it
just
called?
what I walked out with.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I was total up over the day. That's what I left with. You don't count your losses. That money's gone. You just can't even pay attention to it.
How much did you lose when you went to the casino in New York?
I don't want to lie to you guys, but I also don't want to. I'm not going to say because I don't need people knowing that kind of information about
Text
me.
it to us.
I'll text no because then you're going to react.
Well, you just
and
said
you're gonna-
$7,000. These are all just numbers that are in the air.
Right, but I am not going to divulge that information to our listeners because
You're embarrassed.
I am embarrassed, and I already get text messages, or not text messages, but like Instagram messages and things like that, telling me how irresponsible I am and how I'm a hillbilly and how I'm this. And
They're strangers. Who cares?
I understand, but I don't want that.
I
So I
understand.
text the group chat, and I'll tell you guys, but I'm not going to say it over air.
$1 million?
What?
Where'd you even get it?
All right.
Yeah.
No, I don't care. I only care if I get to find out with the audience.
Oh, okay. Well, it's in your phone, so then don't
Well,
look at
now
your
I
phone.
can't look.
Can't look at it.
All right, I'll look.
But yeah, that's not information that
This is
the
a
public needs to
this is
know.
a loss.
That was her
That's
last
a
loss.
That's the loss where I was like, I'm done. I am done.
And when was this?
A month ago, 28 days ago.
And you're embarrassed by that?
You wouldn't be?
No.
Alan, I don't make money like you do.
Not the point. I don't gamble.
Right, but that's what I'm saying.
As a gambler, I would think you'd be like, eh.
That number's not a lot to you.
No. What I'm saying is it's not a lot to you either because you were willing to lose it.
No, but it is. That's why I
But you
had
were
to.
willing to
That is the point
lose
of
it.
the addiction.
But
I
you were
wasn't.
willing to lose
no,
it.
I wasn't because I walked in with about a third of that.
Yeah.
I was willing to lose a third of that. And then I went to the ATM twice.
But you didn't walk out.
My point is I wasn't, that's why it's a problem.
How much were the
That's why it's an
ATM fees?
addiction.
Ooh, I didn't think about that.
Because that's like
$7.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like once I see the ATM fee of $7, I'm like,
$7, yeah.
oh yeah, I gotta stop this.
Right.
This is ridiculous.
That's why it's like, no, I was not willing to lose that number, but it got to that number, which is why it is a problem. That's one of like the biggest signs is you can't stop once you start. And that's what that was.
A Mary Santora gambling party, don't stop.
It doesn't.
Because it can't stop.
It physically can't.
It physically can't stop.
The reason why I left is because I had hit my ATM withdrawal limit. I couldn't take out any more money. And I was like, well, yeah, I know.
ATM
it's
has
sad.
the ATM machine has better judgment than you.
The
is what you're
machine
saying.
doesn't because I don't even know, it's not sober, but like clean Mary, when I'm not gambling, I put procedures in place, like calling my bank and saying, hey, I need to set a limit on this card, otherwise I'm going to take all my money out. And that's what I did. I swear on my life.
I believe you.
I know better
There's
than that.
no part of this I don't believe.
Where I say, hey, you have to make sure that
When I say I can't believe
allowed,
this, I'm being figurative. I'm not being literal.
I am not allowed to withdraw more than $400 a day because it'll be problematic if I do. Yeah.
Listen, hey, tomorrow on MMS is going to be a big, big day, right? Rover's going to announce all the details for Buzzard Fest. We told you about it last week to get you going on the early bird tickets, and a lot of people have bought those already.
Good call.
Not
Good
even
call.
knowing what the lineup is, yeah. So Rover, 8:15 tomorrow morning, we'll have all the details for you on Buzzard Fest, which is August 4th. It's going to happen out at Victory Park in North Ridgeville, and he'll give you the lineup, and I hope that you still got those early bird tickets because the other ones are going to be more expensive than that. And then tomorrow afternoon on this show, Charlie Sheen returns to the program. He's doing something on Friday night out at MGM Northfield Park. We gave away some tickets for this. It's an evening with Charlie Sheen. They're going to screen Major League as well. So he'll be joining us tomorrow on 4:30 on the phone. So a lot of fun things happening tomorrow. Not so fun, however. I was reading about one Raymond Romano, who is, of course, a comedian, an actor, and nearly dead. His own heart nearly killed him. His doctors found a 90% blockage in a major artery, and he underwent surgery to fix it. And apparently, over the course of a long a period of time, he knew that there had been some things going on. His doctor told him years ago to take something to mitigate his cholesterol and high blood pressure, and he ignored him because he said, I figured I would do it myself, and I would eat healthier. And that didn't work. So I guess he's okay now. They put a stent in there. And it's no joke, boy. I mean, my father-in-law has had major heart surgery, and it terrifies you every time because it's like, these days they can, depending on what you're having done, they can just feed a thing up through your crotch and into your heart. It is amazing what they do, but there are situations where they're still cracking people's sternums open and going in there and, It's terrifying if you know somebody that's got to go through this or if you're going through it yourself. And in retrospect, Ray Romano said that he wished he would have gone on the medication 20 years ago.
I wish I would have done it.
I had to think that you'd have, Ray, a comment on the state of your heart these days.
Everyone loves Raymond except me. My heart hates me. It's not fair.
Your heart doesn't love Raymond.
No,
Everybody else does.
And it's shaped like love, and it hates me.
Shaped like love.
Well, you used to be on that show called Men of a Certain Age, and that was 15 years ago. I had to think that...
yeah, everybody hates that show, too.
I like that show.
I like that show.
I enjoyed that show a great deal.
You're the only one.
Oh, all right. Well, anyway.
It was on TNT.
But you're feeling better. Well, they like drama or whatever. But you're feeling better now? You're doing okay?
I guess, yeah. I'll write some jokes about it.
Yeah. You're 65 now. Those twins that used to do so much material on, they're 30 years old now. One of them's getting married.
I guess.
I guess.
I stay in touch.
I guess. Ray is a man of few
like
words.
My heart. They're trying to kill me.
Yeah. He doesn't want to exert himself too much by saying too much.
Well, because I saw how much I have to pay for this wedding, and I was like, my heart.
Yeah, my heart.
Trying to get out of this.
Oh, nobody loves me anymore. Wow.
What are you doing?
Anyway. But anyway, Ray Romano is fine.
How this impression gets so bad?
I like it. It's the only one we have, right? I don't do Ray Romano. So he's going to be okay. Richard Lewis, not so much. He has announced that he has Parkinson's disease. And Richard Lewis, who, if you've watched Curb Your Enthusiasm, has not looked good for a long time.
Well, when he came on the show about 10 years ago, he was in rough shape.
Yeah, he was.
He's been battling things for a long time. So
love Richard Lewis. He said
that was such a fun day, though.
He was diagnosed with Parkinson's 2 years ago. I guess he's just now talking about it, but maybe that is what accounts for what has seemingly been kind of a rapid decline for him. But I mean, he's not in Michael J. Fox territory, but he said the last 3.5 years have been a pretty rocky time. I love Richard Lewis. I wish he'd come back. I don't know how much more live performing he's going to do after something like this
anymore.
Because people had asked him, hey, are you going to go back out on the road again? And he's like, well, here's what happened. And then that's when he said a couple of years ago, in the middle of his tour, he's like, I think I'm going to be done. And he felt pretty good about it. And then he went to the doctor, and the doctor said that he had Parkinson's. But that he had also had consecutive surgeries on his back, his shoulder. He had shoulder replacement, and he had hip replacement surgery, all one after the other. And so I don't know if this is the last season. Somebody a couple of weeks ago, one of the producers on Curb posted and then quickly deleted a post about how he had intimated that it was the last season. And I guess they really wanted him to take that down, and he realized what he had done.
I hope it's not. I hope they do that show until Larry David's 90 years old.
Until they're all dead. Just one by one. They should keep, as each actor dies, they should keep doing the show with fewer and fewer people to where it's just, I don't know, Cheryl Hines. Odenkirk comes back as Porno Gil. I don't know. They can figure it out.
Just JB Smoove.
Yeah. We have one bureau chief in a town called Corydon, Indiana. This jumped out at me, and I knew that we had somebody there. Andrea is in a town called Corydon, Indiana. I think it's pretty close to Kentucky. And that jumped out at me because the people of Corydon, it's a small town in southern Indiana, but they are all lamenting the end of a local establishment that's closing after 71 years. Butt Drugs.
Oh.
The Butt family has had a local pharmacia for almost 3/4 of a century. And they said it's really, even in a small town like Corydon, Indiana, it's really hard to keep a business like this afloat. And that they're so sorry to their loyal customers, but owner Katie Butt Beckert is really bummed that the store is closing.
What more fun can you get than having a butt shake on a Saturday afternoon?
Butt was the given name, so you make it what it is. Have fun with it. The small independence we can't sustain when we're at their mercy. Even though this kind of feels like a premeditated funeral, we want to look at it as a celebration of life because there's not too many businesses that have actually been here for 3 generations.
3 generations of Butt Drugs. And they really played it up. Now listen, as someone who personally has grown up with a name that engendered a lot of mockery, you wouldn't believe how many people think Alan is hilarious.
It's a good one.
Butt Drugs really played it up. They had stickers and they had milkshakes, as she said there. And but William H. Butt, where that woman's grandfather, he started the pharmacy in 1952. And then her father continued it. I've often thought about what a difficult decision that would be to have to decide at some point if you're going to be in the family business. Because for a lot of people, it's a decision that's made for them. Because on the one hand, you can kind of, there's advantages, I guess, generationally to be kind of pillars of the community or whatever. It's a name that people recognize. But there'd be so much pressure to continue the family business. Especially if you were like, you didn't have that many siblings. Maybe you can count on one of them to go, yeah, screw it. I'm not really good at anything. I'll just stay, I'll sell flooring because that's what my dad did or whatever. Or I'll continue to run Butt Drugs. But if it's just you and you're in the Butt family, but you have aspirations of, maybe you want to go to New York and become a thespian. And your family back in Indiana is really giving you a hard time because who's going to carry on the Butt Drugs name? That can't be easy. But it's going away. People travel from all over the country just to get their I Love Butt Drugs merch. They sell T-shirts and magnets and hats. And gee, even with that, they couldn't keep it open longer than 71 years. Deeply saddened. She said that they have to close their doors. So R.I.P. Butt Drugs. Right next door, that wasn't the only business of the family. Right next door was Butt Whole Foods. I got to take a break. Hey, another $1,000 for you. 3:30. Listen for that next keyword. Courtesy of the Buzzard Bookie. There's $1,000 on the way. If you want to text anything, 35192. You can watch live at AlanCoxShow.com.
This is the Alan Cox Show.
Everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app or whatever smart device you have. Just tell it to play the Alan Cox Show on iHeartRadio.
From the University
Let me find my thing here. Where's Flogging Molly going to be? Oh, there we go. Hey, Flogging Molly is coming back Friday, September the 15th. They're going to play the Agora. AXS.com to get the details on that. Tickets, info, everything else. Flogging Molly, always good live. A couple of tickets here for caller 10. Good luck. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
The Alan Cox Show.
Questions.
Don't come here expecting answers.
Who can provide the answer?
The one big question is, how is this on the air?
We need to understand why that is.
On 100.7 WMMS.
This is a story about Billy Joe and Bobby Sue. Two young lovers with nothing better to do than sit around the house, get high and watch a tube. And here's what happened when they decided to cut loose. They headed down to old El Paso. I swear they ran into a great big hassle.
Steve Miller Band on the Buzzard. Take one on the road, bubba. People pointing out, well, I don't know if they're misremembering or what. We were on the conversation about Mary gambling, and Alan, don't forget, Bill dropped $3,000 at the strip club. When was that?
What?
Did you drop $3,000 at a strip club?
Never.
That must be a long time ago. No,
What he spent on his dog.
No, that wasn't me. That might have been somebody else on the show, but that was not me. I've never, ever even come close to spending that
definitely
much money.
didn't sound like you.
Yeah.
It's not, yeah.
I don't know. That is not anything I've ever done.
Steve Miller Band, they've announced coming through. If you dig Steve Miller, the guy who said I couldn't give a fat frog's ass if you induct me into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, before they did, and I think he might have softened a little bit on it, but he was always very, very outspoken in his derision and disgust with the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. But if you dig Steve Miller Band, they're doing Youngstown August the 9th. Tickets will go on sale this Friday at 10 a.m. Young Bill Squire was just out in Youngstown over the weekend.
Yeah, I met
your
Jenna.
triumphant return to Youngstown after a many, many year hiatus.
Yeah.
How did it go?
It was a lot of fun. There were a few jokes that are like go-to jokes that get laughs all the time, and they just laid there. Now, one of them was a check drop,
Okay.
and that's always a bummer.
Explain to the audience what a check drop is.
Check drop is when a comedy club decides that us getting paid is way more important than what's going on stage.
The club
so
getting
they just they go around and drop the checks with like 10 minutes left when you're really trying to ramp up for a big finale, and then instead of everybody paying attention to what's happening on stage, they're all trying to divide their check up.
But that is
between each
standard
other.
operating procedure.
Not as much anymore.
Really?
A lot of places
clubs
wait until after.
to the
Really?
yeah, because it's just the worst. It just puts the show like
I have
to a
never been
direct-
to a show
a
where they
screeching
wait till the
halt.
end, so I'm glad they're changing that.
Hilarities does it at the very end now.
Really?
Does Comedy Fort do it at the very end?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was in Fort Collins this weekend. They
Yeah,
did
so, but
That's where they had the pube fair.
I met Jenna. I wanted to get a picture with her.
Oh, right, Jenna
showed
came
up,
out.
She showed up, and I happened to be standing like right there. So I was like, oh, I know who. So I made sure her
You
tickets were taken
recognized her.
care of. Yeah, she was the blind person. So.
She was in the dark sunglasses in the dark club.
Yeah.
And her mom was there? Did you meet her mom?
Her mom was very sweet, yeah. And her mom kind of gave me a little bit of a background on her and let me know that she wasn't always calling the after hours line 24/7. She had a pretty tragic story about some sort of mix up with some medication she was on, and it was the wrong medication, and it
Wait, that's why she calls the after hours
well,
line all the time?
it did some stuff to her brain that
really?
yeah, so,
Oh, that sucks.
yeah.
Oh.
So that was very that's a bummer. But her mom's very sweet. Jenna was very sweet.
Yeah, sure.
I don't even know if they had a good time because when I was done, I was, out selling merchandise. And thanks to everybody that bought the new posters. Appreciate you. But she just got out of there because there were two entrances and one has an elevator and she went out the back way, which is the elevator way. So I didn't get a picture with her, which I really wanted.
So was her mom saying this to you kind of as an aside or fully there, Jenna, she's regaling you with the tale of how something happened with Jenna?
Yeah, she was just telling me.
Okay.
Right, yeah. So
Can you
I hope she had fun.
Can you confirm that Jenna and I are different people?
Nope.
Oh, no.
Not unless you tell everybody how much money you lost. Maybe Mary is Jenna. Maybe it was all just a big old.
Well, because she left a lot of voicemails over the weekend. So.
Any about the show?
None of them about the show. No, a lot of other things, though.
It's time for Sweet Nothings with Jenna from Poland.
Fine, I won't eat my earwax anymore.
This has been Sweet Nothings with Jenna from Poland.
Did she make any comments to you about eating her earwax?
She did not.
Okay. Well, I love when Jenna calls. No comments about the show. I imagine that by the time she called, she probably forgot that she had even gone.
Yeah.
But okay, because somebody else was coming. You're gonna have a couple of celebrities.
Yeah, Mike the.
Oh, the 71.
Yeah, the
Gaylord.
No, he was the
bureau
king,
chief of I-71,
yeah,
or the king of
I-71.
Trucker John.
Bureau chief of I-71.
Yeah.
Was that John?
I thought so.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I met him. He was very nice. Very, very cool guy. And then some other customers were there. There was, it was good. It was a good weekend. It was a good show. It was weird because there's another joke that it gets a laugh everywhere, but like that, they just not. And it's one of my favorite new jokes.
Mm-hmm.
And like,
is it that new "Here's why Youngstown sucks" joke?
No,
because that wouldn't go over there.
Actually, that's what I started with, and they love that.
Yeah,
they absolutely.
They're not going to the mat for their hometown.
I'm like, every time I come to Youngstown, I'm like, is it really still here, or is this just a trick? And they get a kick out of that. They don't mind goofing around about their city a little bit. But there was, there's a bit that I just absolutely love that is brand new, and it's usually one that it's a darker joke, but they just were not into it. So, oh well. What are you going to do?
Wow. So how do you just keep going?
I just called them. I'm like, hey, you guys didn't like that one, but you got to just.
Because for a second, it probably threw you off. You're like, that one always works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I said. I'm like, this is the first time that joke has not worked.
Well, then you got to take it out next time you do Youngstown.
No.
No?
No.
You double down.
Yeah.
You double down?
I'll open and close with it.
Wow.
Twice a set.
Yeah.
I never ever wanted to be a man. I wanted to be a pretty lady.
Hey, I got money here for you. As promised, it is $1,000. Courtesy of the Buzzard bookie. So listen closely. I hope you win. You get one of these every single hour, most of the day. So good luck.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Check. That's check. Enter it now at WMMS.com.
I hope that's not too triggering for you, Bill.
No, that's fine.
Check being the word there from
check drop. I was like, what is that?
Saturday nights. No, we were just talking about it.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. Poundcake's the one who doesn't listen to the show.
No, I listened. I just
What
didn't.
Who?
Okay.
Hey, if you want to leave us messages, Jenna does all the time. It's not just her after-hours line. It's your after-hours line. And anybody can call anytime. It's 216-986-8903.
Alan, baby, Corey in Tarpon Springs. Sorry for sounding a little goofy. Got you in the car in traffic. Just want to call and say, what's up? And check it back on the podcast. Miss the lovely and beautiful Mary Santora is fed up. Done. Over. Can't take it. COVID. 3 times. Oh, gosh. What are we going to do? Well, not to brag. Not like I'm going for the record here, patting myself on the back. Just for those of you not keeping track at home, guess who got the new variant 2 weeks ago, bringing up my total counter to 6 times. Jeez. 6. Woo! I love it. Everything hurts. You think you're done?
Everything hurts.
Heck, man. I've been done. Love all of you. Have a great day.
That sucks. Oof.
6 times.
6 times. Except Corey's down there in Tarpon Springs, so he's in that whole Clearwater, Tampa area. God knows what's happening down there.
They have their own strain, probably.
Yeah, right.
Because
Florida's the freedom state. Free to get whatever. Did you see DeSantis doing the bobblehead thing? Have you seen the DeSantis bobblehead video?
Oh, no.
So he's overseas right now. I don't know why, but he's overseas. I guess if you're going to run for president, and he's not yet, but all signs point to that, you go overseas to pretend like you care about foreign policy or whatever. And somebody over there asked him about the polls that show him falling behind Trump. Whatever bloom was on the DeSantis rose early on seems to be rapidly falling off. And his reaction to the question, I'll show it to you here if you're watching the live stream. His head just starts moving all over the place because I don't think he expected the question.
Governor, polls show you falling behind Trump. Any thoughts on that?
Guys, I'm not a candidate, so we'll see if and when that changes.
What is that?
That was weird.
Yeah, hey guys.
Oh, he's so hot.
Mrs. DeSantis looks like Rover's wife.
Does she?
Yeah, like B2. Looks just like her. She's like a former NFL cheerleader or something. Poundcake likes a dopey, glassy-eyed look.
I don't know who I would rather have, him or Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, he likes the... Well, Tucker Carlson's up for grabs right now. Yeah, so he likes DeSantis. He likes that Jared Kushner, the Politabot 5000 look. He likes that whole thing.
His wife kind of looks like Anne Hathaway. Don't you think?
Yeah, maybe.
She kind of does.
But the whole, I don't know what's going on here. It's pretty wild. Didn't see that coming.
It looks like he's having like a panic attack. It really does look like he didn't expect the question, which I don't understand.
Well, because everywhere he's been going in this country, he's had people running interference for him. Like he was on some book tour. That's probably why he went overseas, because A, the book is tanking real hard. B, people just keep asking him questions about things he doesn't want to talk about.
But I just don't understand. He's doing great in, I'm not going to say he's doing great in Florida, but Floridians love him. They like him as a leader.
Well, they like him less and less. They voted for him at the time. A lot of those people that got elected that time, those are protest votes.
Stick to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. He's doing a good job. He's got a cushy job. Why would he want to leave? You don't want to be president.
But you can't be governor forever.
Yes, you can.
You can't.
You can.
You can't. Not if you have political aspirations. Nobody wants to be the governor of Florida forever.
But Florida is a giant state, and it has a lot of business in there. So, yeah, you can be president. If you're doing a good job, they're going to want to keep you.
But you can't. It's 2 terms.
Is it?
Yes.
Is it? It's not 2 terms here, is it?
Probably anywhere.
Oh, okay.
So there are a lot of states where you're limited to 2 terms, and I'm pretty sure Florida is one of those. But if you have political aspirations, of course you want to be president. Except he doesn't realize that Florida is not the country. There's no way he's going to be president. Nevertheless, he's got those aspirations. You mentioned Tucker Carlson. He's out over at Fox.
Well, so is Don Lemon.
Don Lemon, too. Boy, it's been a wild day. When I saw this morning, they were like, hey, breaking news, Tucker Carlson's out at Fox. I'm like, that can't be true. I thought 100%. Well, yeah, Tucker was at CNN and MSNBC before Fox News, but I thought 100% it was a troll. Like somebody had gotten something in the news cycle, and if you put out something as incendiary as that, everybody will run with it. But then Fox put out the statement. They said that it was a mutual agreement, which there's no possible way it's a mutual agreement. That's just to kind of save face. So wherever you go next doesn't look like damaged goods. Don Lemon, he's like, yep, my agent told me I got fired. The management didn't even have the nuts to hit me up and tell me.
I think they saw the writing on the wall with Don Lemon because
they did.
They demoted him, and his ratings weren't good, and he would appear on the show and then not be on the show for a couple days, and so they didn't know what to do with him.
I think Don Lemon also had the whiff of, well, you can't get rid of me because I'm a black guy and I'm a gay guy.
Yeah, it doesn't look right. But how they checkmate him is they hire a lesbian that's also black.
Who's that?
No, I'm saying that's what they should do.
Oh, I thought he meant they already had somebody.
I'm black and I'm gay.
They probably do because that's how you got to do it. They're like, okay, we can't look.
Put Lori Lightfoot on the morning show over at CNN. She's fun to look at.
We can't be racist and homophobic, so we got to out gay him and out black him. We got to get someone who's like super black and super gay.
Super black and super gay.
And a lesbian.
That was the worst hip-hop morning show ever. They were on in Miami in the mid-'80s. Super black and super gay. Some of those old air checks, boy, you're like, couldn't believe what they were getting away with.
I'm black and I'm gay.
So clearly Tucker Carlson didn't know at the end of his show on Friday that he was done because they said that Friday was his last show. But he didn't know that because he's like, I'll see you on Monday.
Yeah.
And boy, that stings. That happens in this business a lot. You know, they tell you after your show that you're done because they don't want you going back on the air and mother effing people or what, right? They don't get, it's very rare if you get a last show. That just means that you're not leaving under acrimonious circumstances. So like, go on the air, tell everybody that happens.
Like if you're retiring.
Yeah, very rarely. Yes. Like if you're Lanigan, you do like a last show or something, but under situations like that. So again.
You think he would do it? You think he would lash out?
Tucker?
Yeah.
No, I don't think so, but I think he probably would have said, well, if I'm done, I'm done. I'm not going on the air to do some last show. But it had to be partially because of that Dominion settlement.
Had to be, but like his ratings were supposed to be the highest on Fox, so I don't
on
understand
cable
how
news
they
at
let
night.
Yeah,
nobody was beating Tucker Carlson.
Poundcake, you should try and get that spot.
You're super black and super gay.
And
I'm black.
And a Republican.
And I'm gay.
Love Trump.
You're a Trump guy.
Yeah. I mean, you go on there and say, hey, Ron DeSantis is hot. I think you got a shot, man.
Yeah, because everybody else is talking about what a dope he is. You're going to be on there talking about how hot he is.
And
Poundcake tonight.
That's what they could call your show, gay black Republican. And they're like, oh, look, you could be all the old white people's gay black friend.
Yes, GBR.
Yes.
It's GBR with Poundcake. Well, he'd have to be Cody Brown.
I think
it's GBR with Cody Brown.
I'd have to be the helpful Brown.
I think you should go in it and make it like a party atmosphere, and it can be
Pants off, dance off.
Well, it's the bash. It's the gay bash with Poundcake.
Yeah.
But it's all, I feel like all their shows are catered to like the last name, like the Ingram angle, and then the Hannity.
Browntown.
I was gonna say they had something. What was the Faulkner files or something like that?
Harris Faulkner, yeah.
Yeah, so it would be like the Helpful Brown Review or something. Brown.
No, what's the alliteration? You get Browntown, or you could have what's with Cody? The Cody
case.
Corner.
The Cody Corner.
Cody's
the Cody
Corner.
case.
Yeah, something.
So yeah, Tucker, and listen, $787 million is real money, even for Fox. And I think they were paying Tucker Carlson maybe $8 million, which isn't a ton of money for his ratings. They still pay Hannity like $25 million. But Tucker Carlson, he rode in on that Trump wave, and he rode it to the bitter end, boy. So when you come out of a settlement like that, even the way Fox News prints money, $787 million is a lot of money. You got to show shareholders that you're going to pivot somewhat. So that's got to be partially why Tucker Carlson's like out. I'm sure they have a massive package for him too. He's going to be just fine. He's a rich kid anyway. What does he care? He has tons of money. It's not about the money. And those texts didn't help, right? All those texts that were borne out in the case, in the course of that case, where all the hosts were talking about how Trump sucks. And, you know, once the viewers realize that you're acting, which they all are.
Over.
Yeah, but once they figure out that you're acting, it's all over. So that was pretty wild. The word shocking gets used way too much in media, but that I thought was legitimately shocking.
Me too, because it doesn't. I feel like this doesn't look good for Fox in the fact that people are going to be like, oh, this is the station that says we don't cancel, and you're canceling. You're canceling.
Yeah, but that's all they ever do.
Cost them $750 million.
Someone's game.
But that's why they said they mutually agreed, because that way Tucker can save face and go, yeah, it was time for me to go, and I kind of done all I wanted to do, but it was very clear.
Explore new things.
Very clear that he had no idea it was out.
Well, I'm not watching Fox anymore.
But that does suck, man. That sucks for anybody in media where they're like, yeah, you have already done your last show, right?
Like, oh, well.
Okay, well.
I guess I'll write something in the Notes app and post it to my
yeah, right.
to my Facebook.
But it is weird. So, yeah, him over at Fox News, Don Lemon over at CNN. The Don Lemon thing, you're right. The writing was on the wall for that, but.
Again, they were waiting at it. They were like, we can't just drop him because that looks bad, but just, oh, his ratings plummeted. Yeah, you moved me. Like, you moved me. Of course my ratings plummeted. No one's watching me at whatever time they moved him to. Like, I don't have the same amount of viewers. Well, sorry, you just can't, you're not a draw anymore.
Was the Don Lemon comment when he said,
old bitches?
Well, no, that she was past her prime. Who was he talking about?
Nikki Haley.
Nikki Haley. She looks like somebody who's past her prime, and a bunch of people
Said if you
took
look it
umbrage
up.
with that because he was commenting on her looks or whatever. And Lauren Boebert tweeted out, looked like Don Lemon was the one who was actually past his prime. I was like, she got a good one out, you know. When you lay the groundwork like that out for somebody, you just roll out the carpet for people to come knives out.
That's like a program director coming to you. That's like Rob coming to you, like, Alan, I'm so sorry. You're not getting your car or your drive time numbers aren't what they used to be. Yeah, because you put me on at night.
Nobody's driving at night.
So we got to let you go.
Yeah. Well, that's how it happens.
You put me on 6 to 11, homie. I'm not on drive time.
They come to you and they go, they're going to go in a different direction. I got to take a break. If you want to send a text, 35192, AlanCoxShow.com is where you can watch live.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS.
Ready to bring the heat so you're bedbug free 24 hours. Contact
game. Maybe it's not this one. Be able to give you the details, though. You want a 4-pack of tickets now. Guardians Tigers on the 8th. Good luck. Caller 10. These are yours. Have fun. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
The Alan Cox Show. Podcast anytime on our iHeartRadio app.
Ooh, what's a podcast?
Like a TV show, but without the pictures.
Maybe that's called radio. What you're describing is radio.
And live on the radio weekday afternoons. On 100.7 WMMS.
Guardians set for a 6:10 first pitch tonight. Start the series here at home against the Colorado Rockies. So 6:10 tonight, tomorrow. We'll scoot out a bit early. And then 1:10 is your afternooner to finish it up against Colorado on Wednesday. And the weekend series, they head to Fenway to play the Red Sox Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then they'll head down to New York to play the Yankees. So Guardians baseball on 100.7 WMMS, your FM home. 6:10 tonight. And blah, blah, blah. Hey, Charlie Sheen on the show tomorrow. He'll be calling in around 4:30. He is doing a thing out at MGM Northfield Park on Friday night. It's an evening with Charlie Sheen. We gave away a bunch of tickets for this a few weeks back when they first announced it. Evening with Charlie Sheen and a screening of Major League. You know, a lot of people don't know this here in Cleveland, but the movie Major League was based on the Cleveland Indians. And Charlie Sheen, a lot of people don't know this in Cleveland, was in Major League.
Oh.
So for people going,
Learn things
Alan,
every day.
Why would Charlie Sheen be screening Major League? Because his character, of course, in the movie Bumper McKiffin was,
Nope.
What was his name?
Rick the Wild Thing Vaughn.
Rick the Wild Thing Vaughn, not Bumper McKiffin?
No.
Why do I have Bumper McKiffin on the brain?
I don't know. Was that a live stream name?
Is that the person who's helping? No, that's Puff Nutley. I just looked over. Maybe Buffer McKiffin, Bucker, what did I just say? Puff Nutley is the person who's helping out. So if you're watching today on the live stream at alancoxshow.com, you can point some of your thanks Puff Nutley's way. Thank you, sir or madam. I don't know which that is, but there you go. I would like you, if you're in the car now, obviously you can wait, but if you're at home listening to this program on your smart speaker, your radio, or whatever, I would like you to go into the kitchen or wherever your junk drawer is. You might have one of those thin, flat drawers in a desk in the middle, but for a lot of people, I think the junk drawer is primarily in the kitchen. You guys have junk drawers?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do we? Kind of.
Yeah, I got. That's most of my drawers, honestly.
Are junk drawers.
We have like a drawer, but it y'all know Brian has OCD. Our silverware drawer has a big giant organizer in it, but it has a bunch of random stuff. So it has our silverware, but it also has like Post-it notes, rubber bands, koozies.
The junk is in with the silverware.
But it's like an organizer.
Why doesn't he have a separate? I would think he would have a separate. I could never mix my junk and my silverware.
I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. My junk drawer is organized. That, you know, like the organizers you can put into drawers?
Mm-hmm.
That we have one that has spaces for silverware and then like 10 other little compartments.
Understood, but I'm just saying that they're all in the same drawer.
Right, but it's a 2-foot by 1-foot organizing pad.
Anyway, I want, wherever your junk drawer is, I want you to go into it, and I want you to pull out all those old Bed Bath & Beyond coupons because they're all going to expire tomorrow. So figure out what you might, is going to be a run on Bed Bath & Beyond because they've had a tough few years. They're like, we're trying to stay in business. If you've been into a Bed Bath & Beyond, let's say within the last 18 months, everything looks like everything has recently exploded because they knew that the end was nigh. They finally officially declared bankruptcy yesterday. Bed Bath & Beyond is going away, which means those 20% off everything coupons that you get them mailed to you. It's no wonder things went downhill for these guys. Went to you all these years. You probably you got so many of them so regularly you'd stuff them in a drawer. Pull them out because they're about to be worthless. Because Bed Bath & Beyond is going into the liquidating all their merchandise part of the retail life cycle, and then they're going to go out of business. So you have today, you had yesterday, if you happen to find yourself in a triple B, you had yesterday, you have today, and you have tomorrow to use those coupons. I think they stopped mailing them out a couple of years ago because they were like, oh, really? They still go out?
I still get them. Yeah.
Wow.
I
haven't gotten one in a long time.
I got one like a month ago. But it's not, the ones that I get are usually like 20% off one single item. I've never gotten one that's like off your whole purchase, but you can stack them. So if you have 5 20% off coupons, then you can use it on 5 individual items.
No way to know how much that is total in percentage off.
100.
So what they're going to do is stop accepting coupons altogether on Wednesday, but then because they have to liquidate their inventory, it's going to be a hell of a lot more than 20% off. They're going out of business. But you can't use them for that, obviously. You're not going to be able to get something that's 70% off and then hand them a 20% off coupon. Hey, Mom, I got this coffee maker for $4.
Oh, but people are going to try, and they're going to be...
Where does it say that?
That's why it's going to be great over the next few days. If there's a Bed Bath & Beyond near you, the closest one to me is in Westlake.
The one at Crocker. That's the one that I go to.
The one at Crocker. Oh, it's going to be fun in there. Because like I said, on a regular day, it looks like things have exploded. So let's say you get yourself a couple of towels, right? Maybe you're short on towels. And you go, I need some towels. And so you go in there, and they're 70% off. And then what you do is you take one of them 20% off coupons, you slip it in between the folds of the folded towel. And then when she's checking it out, it falls like, oh my God, how did that get in there? Is that like a golden ticket? And then you pretend like you didn't put it in there. But there's like there's an end of days store manager running around just slipping these into various towels.
I have an 20% off. I'm looking at my email right now. I just got one yesterday. Or no, Saturday, April 22nd.
Now, here's the caveat. If you get something before Wednesday, you have until the end of next month to return it. But everything after Wednesday, that's it. They're not even going to be taking gift cards.
Outdoor furniture, umbrellas. Oh, my God.
Now, what I thought about were the people who registered at Bed Bath & Beyond, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're getting married. And then you go through with that stupid price gun. My first wife and I did this. Gwen and I did not do this. We didn't register it. But you walk through with a dumb price gun and you scan stuff that you want. And for people who've been cohabiting for a while, that's a tough list to come up with because you're adults and you already have everything, right? You're not 18 years old getting married to somebody who's 17 years old. I don't think they have a Bed Bath & Beyond in Stark County. Maybe they do. But if you're on a current wedding registry for Bed Bath & Beyond, it might behoove you to find another place to do that. So anyway, Bed Bath & Beyond back in the day was like the darling of the retail industry, right? Back in the day, they were like, oh, my God. Not only can you get things for your bedroom, not only can you get things for your bathroom, you can get things for, let's say, beyond those rooms. Where else could you get a juicer, a comforter, a corkscrew, and, I don't know, some cocoa-dusted gummy bears?
Spritzer fan.
Yeah, Spritzer fan. Right. I'm a longtime Spritzer fan. And to find one there in the impulse aisle, it just... So anyway, over the next couple of days, because we've talked about this and I don't quite get it, but you guys love it, people watching. People go, oh my God, it's great for people watching. I bet that Bed Bath & Beyond over the next few days is going to be really good for people watching. It might be like, and if you work at one, if you're in this audience and you're employed by a Bed Bath & Beyond, you have our deepest condolences. Because the next 72 hours for you is going to be no fun at all. You're going to have people screaming at you. Because you think people scream in retail when something's expensive. They scream even louder when it's cheap. That's why there's fights in dollar stores. And you can't even believe it. What the hell are these people fighting about in a dollar store? But people will fight about anything. Did you see the people get into a fight at the In-N-Out drive-thru?
I know, but I believe
The
it.
people that were fighting, this was in somewhere in California. And I don't know if somebody hit somebody else. I don't know what happened. But they just start screaming and yelling, and I'll show it to you if you're watching the live stream. Hold on here. At an In-N-Out, a really packed drive-thru. Two dudes get, so there's like a...
video's coming to us from Santa Clarita, where people in these two cars can be seen throwing things at each other. This is in an In-N-Out drive-thru. They threw...
So these two dudes, who are clearly this white lady's sons, they get out of their car and they're throwing some kind of liquid at the girl in the car in front of them. It's some, like, Hispanic girl and her mom get out and they're screaming. My favorite part of the entire video is they have to blur the girl's skirt because it's so high.
Yeah.
Right?
She's showing off her Five Guys.
She can be flashing gas. Right. So her Five Guys.
I don't know.
This is at an In-N-Out.
In-N-Out.
It's right there for you. Yeah.
Her double.
Yeah.
Animal style.
There you go. You're animal style.
Yeah, and this video is coming to us from Santa Clarita, where people in these two cars can be seen throwing things at each other. This is in an In-N-Out drive-thru. They threw bleach, juice, water bottles, all of it going back and forth.
There's bleach in their car, unless they just got
out
it
of
from Home Depot or something, you know.
Maybe
Bed Bath & Beyond.
Yeah, maybe they're committing crimes on a regular basis.
And what I like, the big long line, because these lines are so long now that they'll have employees outside with the headset and maybe the iPad. Hey, what would you like? So when you get up to the window, it's just, expedites the process. Well, those guys are standing out there in those dumb paper hats, and they're not doing anything because they're like, bro, I'm getting $10 an hour. I ain't getting in the middle of this. Why would they? So they don't know what precipitated the problem, but it's the two dudes in the Subaru Outback getting back. Their mom gets out of the car and implores the woman in front to calm down.
Along with a lot of nasty language. All of this happening just before 12:30, just outside the Six Flags Magic Mountain near the old road and the 5. Now, it's not known exactly what started all of this, but Santa Clarita Sheriff's deputies say they're looking into it.
Wow. Looking into it. A lot of salty language to boot. But by the way, if you're that lady's sons who were getting in and out of that car and throwing crap at the girl, you want to see her all hiked up, too. I mean, there's adrenaline pumping, and maybe that's not even on their radar. But when she gets out of the car, initially, all angry, news that will eventually have to blur her little skirt hiked up. I hope that they all were able to
get their orders.
I hope that
they're all hangry.
Yeah, they just got left Magic Mountain.
Mm-hmm. They're just hangry.
I hope that I hope that everybody figured it out, that they were able to, I don't know. But it did very much look like a cartoon they were doing there, too. They were getting in and out of the car and throwing crap at people. Yeah. Just stop it. I like the mom getting out of the Subaru and screaming at the people in front. What is your problem? I wish that they had those guys with the In-N-Out headsets there in the drive-thru, the employees. I wish that they had like a live feed or something. Valencia, California.
Can't we all just get along?
Yes.
Oh,
Something.
bitch, don't you know anything?
We have a couple of bureau chiefs there in Valencia, California. We have Phil and we have Brian out in Valencia. If you guys are listening to any of this, maybe you can get me some more recent audio as that story develops. But, man, good for them. They're out there pulling up and getting out and throwing bleach in their face.
About that action. That was like a thing. We were dumb, stupid kids. Like, for whatever reason, the 8th graders thought that they were badass. When I was in 8th grade, it was always like the older grade hazed like the younger kids. And the conversations were like, okay, so we're going to get water balloons on our last day of school, and then we're just going to throw a bunch of water balloons at the 7th and 6th graders. And then someone was like, let's put bleach in it. Like, what? We're not doing that.
Yeah, let's make it a
Bleach,
crime.
Yeah.
It was just like, who comes up with that stuff? Like, these hazing things, like, it's stuff that kids do, and these adults are throwing bleach on
Well,
people.
and they always want to go next level. Like you
Yeah,
said,
it's
it's
not
never
enough.
like, hey, let's make some water balloons. It's like, hey, let's fill these with pee and then throw them at people.
We always had shaving cream fights on
Yeah.
the last day of school. That was like everybody brought they would check our backpacks like the last week of school to make sure you weren't bringing cans and cans of shaving cream. And there was always the rumor, I don't know if it was ever true or not, but like 1 or 2 days before the last day, everyone knew there was going to be a shaving cream fight, and there was always a rumor going around that someone was going to bring Nair. That was always like, oh, this
what I'm saying. Someone
this
always has to
person's
ration
bringing
it up.
Nair, so you had to it made it an extra level of terrifying because you very well could get hit with a shaving cream balloon or sprayed with it, and it might be Nair and make all your eyebrows fall out or your hair patchy or whatever. I don't know if they ever actually did it or if it was all just urban legend, but every year that was like the myth.
I wasn't even in a group that was cool enough to be part of those pranks.
No.
It was everybody, dude.
Everyone.
Because everyone would walk home from school that day, and then you'd get like 100 feet away from the school because it couldn't happen on school property. They would say they would try to arrest you. I don't know. They told lies all the time.
Student restraint officer.
Right? Yeah. So and then sure enough, like right up, we were 1 block away from the school, and that's when everyone busts out all their shaving cream cans and stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, we didn't do stuff. I mean, they might have done stuff like that. I just never participated in it. Like, I never, like, getting out of school and then, like, doing it. No, I'm just getting out of there. I'm driving home.
Alan, is there any follow-up as to if Mary got her expensive purses and shoes from that guy who likes her foot pics?
No, when did he email me and he said it was going to be 2 weeks? I think I said that last week.
Yeah, okay.
Didn't I?
You might have.
It was.
So we got to wait another week.
Let me see real quick. How was your vacation? Next week on April 18th. Your shoes are coming next week. Which would be tomorrow is 7 days from the 18th. So
Hey, okay.
I'll have to go check.
So tomorrow there might be an update.
I'll have to go check. Yeah.
There might be a.
Let's see what else holds it up.
No, she might get them. Imagine if
might.
she gets them.
What would you do? I come in here I won't be here tomorrow. I won't be back
You should
till
sell them
Thursday.
and gamble with that money.
No, I'm trying to stop gambling. You guys don't understand.
Bet you won't.
You're annoying.
Alan, band camp hazing was the worst. Well, yeah, all those flutes going places, I imagine. I got to take a break. Are you a fan of Stavros Halkias? He's a funny comic.
Very funny.
He's doing some theaters. He's going to come to Cleveland. If you want to see him, I will have a couple of passes for you after the break here. He's going to be doing October at Playhouse Square, the Fat Rascal Tour. It's a Saturday night. So if you dig him or want to get a hit to him fast, I'll have tickets for you after the break. Another $1,000 coming up, too. Another keyword for you, courtesy of the Buzzard Bookie on the way at 4:30.
It's the Alan Cox Show. Everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app.
From the Wrestling with Freddie podcast.
All of the mind-blowing contests.
$20,000.
Awesome.
All of your favorite superstars.
It's Pete from Fall Out Boy.
Best of all, it doesn't cost a thing. Download the absolutely free iHeartRadio app now.
Stop you! Wow! Give stuff away.
All right, comedian Stavros Halkias is coming through to do Playhouse Square. If you're a fan, he really blew up on social media. He was hosted a very popular podcast called Come Town. Is that still on, by the way? They still do that?
No idea.
All right. Well, anyway, he's coming through to do a show at Playhouse Square in October, if you want to go see him. He's going to do the Fat Rascal Tour on October the 7th. PlayhouseSquare.org will have all the details for you. Caller 10, these tickets are yours. Good luck. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
Did you miss us? Because we missed you. Well, not Jerry from Willoughby, but the rest of you.
The Alan Cox Show.
On 100.7 WMMS.
Another $1,000 for you in about 8 minutes. 4:30, listen for that keyword. Courtesy of the Buzzard Bookie, $1,000. With Rover and Stansbury and me and Corey at night, you got about a chance every hour, so listen for those. Don't miss them. Because why not you, man? Why not you? If you listen to us on iHeartRadio, tell me where, if it's out of state. I'd like to know where people are listening. Sebastian is one of our bureau chiefs in Salt Lake City. Norm is in Detroit. Jenna is up in Janesville, Wisconsin. Ray and Brittany listen in Yorktown, Virginia. Steve-O is a new listener in Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Joe is in Moncks Corner, South Carolina.
Got anybody in Grand Rapids?
Oh, we have a lot of people in Grand Rapids.
I'm going to be up there this weekend.
In Grand Rapids.
Grand Rapids. At the Bob.
At the Bob.
Dr. Grins with Chad Daniels.
Does your brother come for those?
No.
Isn't he north of Grand Rapids?
By a lot still. He's up in New Era, which is still like a 2-3 hour drive.
He wouldn't make the drive?
I can ask him. I don't think he would.
No, but I mean, like, if you wouldn't go, hey, man, I'm going to be doing a gig in Grand Rapids. How long since you've seen that brother?
A few months.
Okay. That's not that bad then.
Yeah, I see him. He comes down pretty regularly. Maybe it's been since my brother's wedding, so it might have been since, I don't know. It's whatever. He's fine.
That's a 1 hour trip. He could drive an hour to see you.
He could.
65 miles.
Well, yeah, do it then.
Well, hit him up.
Don't tell me what to do. He's like the Mormonist Mormon of us.
So what?
So
he doesn't want.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. He wouldn't enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
He wouldn't enjoy having dinner with you like before the show.
I don't like doing stuff like that when I'm on the road, if that makes sense.
I see. Not even with family.
No. Because I want to be able to concentrate. I want to, I want to be able to do the show and something that, if they're good friends, it's one thing, but family's not the same. For me, I don't know. I just
I was just asking.
Hate catching up with people.
I know you have a brother up there.
I don't know if he wants to come down. Like, I love him, he's fine. But I'll let him know I'll be down that way or up that way because he might want to come down. But I don't know. I'm just weird like that. I like the solitude that I get when I'm on the road
Compared to the solitude you have at home.
Well,
he's got his girl and his dog.
I got my girl and my
thing.
dog, and I'm around people all day. So
You count this job as being around people?
I sure do.
Do not count this as being around people?
Oh, God, my car is the only time I'm ever alone.
I feel like this is, we're around two people.
It's other people.
That's more people than just me.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love the road because it's the closest I can get to an ideal schedule for myself. But it's like, I don't know.
But
if
like,
you don't see your
trying to
brother
make
twice a
plans
year,
and stuff.
yeah,
I mean, I see him when I see him. It's, I don't know.
And Bill and I aren't people who are terrified to be alone with our own thoughts.
I'm not terrified to be alone
We
with
should
my own
be,
thoughts.
but we're not. We're awash in them.
Just because people like being around people doesn't mean they're afraid to be alone.
I'm not saying that
I like
that's
to
the
be around the
case.
people I like to be around. And
you have alluded to things like not wanting to be alone with your own
I
thoughts.
have never said that.
Oh, come
I
on.
swear on my life. I've gone on this show and said how I'm someone who needs a lot of alone time. I'm someone who requires a lot of time alone. That's why I think mine and
then why
Brian's
is it so
relationship
weird?
work. It's not weird. I think it's weird that you're going to be 1 hour from a brother you see twice a year.
I don't have the same relationship that you have, so I don't care to see him.
I understand that. Stop getting so defensive.
Well,
Especially since
you're
your brother doesn't work 28 hours a day.
Right, like,
Bill. I mean,
I will hit him up. If he wants to come down, he can come down. But I'm not.
By the way, this isn't a big thing. I was just
plans.
asking if he was going to come see you.
I don't.
It wasn't a gotcha question.
I'm just saying.
I was just curious.
Like Mary, I have the reasons that and I'm not gonna say those things, but
you don't have to.
Right.
Are you here tomorrow, Mary?
No, I'm out tomorrow, Wednesday. Why? What are you saying?
It's getting goddamn ridiculous. I don't have these things in my calendar, and I really need to.
I send an email. I have probably sent 5 emails. Every 2 or 3 weeks, I send a new email with my updated dates.
I know.
So
and
that's
I update
not on
them.
me.
No, I know. I update them, and I guess because people were texting me, but Mary's not in tomorrow, and I was like, that's news to me, but it's probably not. So tomorrow, because we're off Friday, because Bill and Mary are both gone.
No, I'm here Friday.
Well, okay.
I'm out tomorrow.
I already told them we were out, so.
Okay. I'm out tomorrow and Wednesday. I'm back Thursday.
Well, I'm all turned around then. So tomorrow and Wednesday you're out.
Correct.
Okay. Let me make sure I have this in. Okay. Make sure I have this in. Okay. There we go. All right. Charlie Sheen's going to be on the show tomorrow. John Michael Higgins, who I think is a very funny actor too. He's been on handful of times over the years. He's in Best in Show, all those Christopher Guest movies. He's going to be on Wednesday. And tomorrow morning, Rover's got all the Buzzard Fest info for you. We told you about it last week that you get those early bird tickets, but we didn't give you the details on the lineup. He will have all that for you tomorrow morning around 8:15. So it's going to happen August 4th out at Victory Park in North Ridgeville. So make sure that you are listening to RMG for all that information. Or not. We'll be talking about it from now until May after he announces it. But if you like to be a person who's first in, then tomorrow you're going to want to do that.
I sent my last email April 5th saying that I was out tomorrow and Wednesday.
Okay. I'm sure you did. And I'm sure that I probably got the information.
And what I'm noticing,
wrong,
looking back at all of them, I start them all the exact same way. Hi, bosses, because it
I
goes
know
to
you
all
do.
9
I
of my
know.
bosses.
I know.
It's 100 of you.
I know.
It's like Office Space. I have 8 bosses, Bob.
Can you tell us what you do here?
I'm a people person.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure I have it somewhere. Anywho, Alan, you were talking about Bed Bath & Beyond. Did you see that Tupperware is going bankrupt? I didn't know that Tupperware was still a thing, by the way. That was the thing back in the 70s is women would have Tupperware parties. And I remember my mom having these when I was a kid. It was Tupperware parties. Before it became like dildos and everything, it was Tupperware parties. I don't know, this is an age where you pretty much had to get things by catalog or going to I don't know, even I was so small. I don't remember what the point of a Tupperware party was, other than under normal circumstances, I would think that it would be a bunch of hens
drinking wine.
Right,
yeah.
but that wasn't my mom, so I don't know. But Tupperware has said that there is, they haven't filed yet. There is substantial doubt that it will be able to avoid bankruptcy. That's what Tupperware says. Again, I didn't even know it was still a thing. I'm a Pyrex man myself.
Glass.
Well, yeah.
You trust yourself.
Yeah.
Not me.
It's thick-tempered glass.
Pyrex is the best.
It's the best.
I have a couple of them. I have like casserole dish size Pyrexes to take to events.
Tupperware gets stained.
I get nervous bringing a Pyrex. I'm just not I'm a very clumsy person.
Yeah, but they're so thick.
They're so thick.
You could
and
drop
it's not like
it
a wine
and it
glass.
wouldn't break?
I don't think they would.
Really?
I have.
There's the Pyrex that I have is like these basically like Tupperware containers, and they're very, very thick, and you can heat them up.
Yeah.
They're great. My sister got those for me when I moved into my condo.
Maybe I can go to Bed Bath &
bigger than a
Beyond
Pyrex.
and use my coupon for some Pyrex.
Boy, you can still host Tupperware parties. Jesus. It's wild. A Tupperware consultant. I mean, how'd you like to be the person still hanging on to that thing? Yeah, I go to people's houses and tell them about Tupperware. What? I just like the old jokes. Nobody remembers the old jokes. There were Tupperware jokes.
What were the Tupperware jokes?
Yeah.
What does a walrus have in common with Tupperware, Bill?
What?
2 tusks.
They're both like a tight seal. I didn't say it was good. I said it was a Tupperware joke.
Is it implying that the walrus
yes,
is banging
cross
a seal?
species.
Yeah.
Cross species
Well,
erotica?
I imagine you can't use the word in the setup as the punchline, so you got to change it to a walrus.
Yeah.
I assume whoever
I mean,
came
that
up with
joke
that.
writing,
that's-
I understand from a joke writing point of view. I get it.
Yeah. They're working backwards, right? They're just, I don't know. Whoever came up with that one, I don't know. I mean, I don't even like to think of, because I'm sure Tupperware makes glass now. I'm sure that they make all kinds of things. But the tight seal. And we give you some money here. It is $1,000. This will get your brand new Tupperware consultancy business off the ground. If you so choose, it's courtesy of the Buzzard Bookie. Listen closely and good luck.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard Bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Money, that's money. Enter it now at WMMS.com.
You can leave us messages on the After Hours line. It doesn't always have to be Jenna. Did you have any conversation with her about how frequently she calls? Was there any conversation of substance in Youngstown?
It was right before the show was starting, so I talked to her mom for a little bit and said hi and stuff, and then they left right after the show. So, they didn't come and stand in line and do the merch thing, so I didn't get to see them after the show.
It would have been more fun to talk to them after the show, wouldn't
I
it?
agree, but you gotta move some posters, bruh.
Oh, yeah. How did that go?
Good.
You're like,
Yeah.
hey, pay me what you want.
Yeah.
How many did you move?
I don't know, 6 or 8, something like that.
And what did you make?
I don't know, $100 or so.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. After Hours line, 216-986-8903.
Hey, Alan, it's Matt. You were talking about 70s movies the other day, and I've been on kind of the same kick. Like, some of them are just really entertaining stuff, and just silly stuff, too, like Smokey and the Bandit. But I watched a super realistic 70s movie just the other night, I think it's on Netflix, about the real life of radio DJs called Play Misty for Me. And super realistic, this overnight DJ at a little jazz station in Marin or Carmel, somewhere out there near San Francisco, has this oceanfront condo overlooking a cliff, for his 4-hour show that he does every night. But super realistic, though, right?
You ever see Play Misty for Me? That's an old movie. Like that movie, I was like in diapers when that movie was out.
No, I've never even heard of that, but I did watch 5 Easy Pieces.
Did you like it?
I don't know.
That's a tough one to figure out if you like it.
It's a good movie. It's one of those ones where it leaves you just kind of questioning things. It definitely makes you very thoughtful.
Mm-hmm.
If you watch it and just kind of let it, and really absorb it. The character that Jack Nicholson plays is a piece of garbage.
Yep.
Nobody in the film is all that endearing or likable. So
you get a young Foxy Sally Struthers. That's the weirdest part.
But I finished watching that movie and I was just like, it's also a little disjointed in some of the storytelling where it jumps to scenes and they're just kind of in conversations already, or I don't know. It wasn't the best movie I've ever seen at all, but it did make me think about some things. So
you can
I get
see
the art of it.
You can see what Jack Nicholson is going to become.
Right.
As an actor. And
he did a great job in it. And it's just a really depressing movie overall.
Oh yeah,
it's very depressing.
Yeah.
It's not. You know what it reminded me of? Manchester by the Sea.
Oh God, it wasn't that depressing, was it?
Manchester by the Sea was.
Oh my God.
More depressing, but they had to step on the gas because there's already been movies like this one.
Right.
But it's also just a guy that in 5 Easy Pieces, anytime he's got any problems, he either tries to fight his way out of it or just runs away.
Yes.
He's just a garbage person. No coping skills whatsoever. I don't know if this was supposed to be some sort of like a manly way to deal with things or just show what a coward he is, because he's really just a coward when it comes down to it.
You scream at your women.
Yeah, scream at your women. You run away from them. You don't take any accountability for any of your actions. It was just
That's the life, boy.
Yeah,
That's the life.
It's like, doesn't that sound great?
Oh, my God. Who wouldn't want to live like that? Amazing.
He doesn't want to live like that. He hates himself.
Oh, still.
More
well,
than
that's,
anything.
Listen,
That's the whole thing.
That's what you got to live with. But still, you're off. You're off and running.
You just hate yourself so much. And that's the whole, peak of the movie is where, like, I can't love you. You don't love you.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
But that's everybody.
No, not everybody hates themselves like
Oh,
that.
come on. Yeah,
You don't. Do
Hey,
you
listen,
hate yourself like that?
Of course.
No, you
What are you
don't.
talking? Of course.
You would have run away.
Well, not like that. There's a billion. That's the beauty of life. There's a billion ways to hate yourself. You know what we watched that I was really disappointed in because I hadn't heard that much about it? I was familiar with the source material. Was Knock at the Cabin.
What's that?
That really blew. The Shyamalan movie.
All Shyamalan movies are bad.
Well, no, they're
Why would
not.
you even waste your time?
Well, because I forgot he directed it. I just wanted to see the movie because I remember the book. And I was like, oh, this is a cool... Dave Bautista, who's turning into an amazing actor, by the way. It was just... And I was like, wait a second. Because I think Shyamalan has given up on the twists because that was so expected of him for a while that he was like, there's no big twist. So I figured that. But I was like, nothing. Poundcake, you saw it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Like, nothing really happens.
Me and
just kind of like...
Yeah, me and McBoyfriend were like scrolling through and watching something, and there's a gay guy in there that we like.
Jonathan Groff.
Jonathan Groff.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, well, we've never seen him in a big screen movie, really. Other that doesn't play a stereotypical gay character. So I was like, this is interesting. So we turned it on, and it starts out really good. And we thought it was going to like get better from there, horror, suspense, whatever. And I was like, really?
Well, because they changed it so much from the book, I was like, okay, there's no way that audiences are going to accept them filming the book. But it just did. They had so many.
It is not what I expected.
No, they had so many opportunities to really flesh some stuff out, and you were like, oh, well, it was kind of by the numbers. I think I told Gwen, I go, that was really by the numbers, man. They kind of.
So I'm guessing in the book it had a different ending.
Yes.
Okay. It's probably the ending that I thought how it was going to end, but. Yeah, they couldn't. Never mind.
They weren't going to pull the trigger on that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I was just, I thought the casting was great. It was just really disappointed in that.
Yeah.
But anyway, Matt called about Play Misty for Me, which is this classic. I don't even know if it's a classic. It's old, okay? October 71. Clint Eastwood plays this late night DJ, and a young, hot Jessica Walter, who recently died. A young hot, she got like a Golden Globe or something for it. She is an obsessed fan who tries to kill him and, stalks his girlfriend or whatever. But yeah, listen, radio is always, or DJs or whatever, they're always portrayed in films as like really cool, really wealthy dudes. Or at least, as Matt said, he's got like a mountaintop house overlooking LA or something. The guy works overnights because obviously they're not going to film the reality of it. I mean, nobody would want to watch that,
live
right?
In a closet.
Yeah, nobody would want to watch that. And in the 70s, it was a cool job.
You live in someone's house like me.
But even in the 70s, nobody had a cliff top house doing overnights at a jazz station. But she would call and say, "Play Misty for me," because of like this old jazz standard, Misty. And yeah, it's a wild movie. But it is old. But, Knock at the Cabin, boy. I don't know about that.
Yeah, disappointing.
Did McBoyfriend like it or no?
No, we both kind of looked at each other like, that wasn't what I was expecting. But we were also gratified in the fact that it wasn't like, okay, because there's a gay couple in the movie. There was no ridiculous sex scene. They weren't stereotypical or anything like that. It was just a gay couple that has a child. So that was like what lured us in. And then the rest, I was like, oh, so they give us that type of plot line? I took it personal.
You took it personally?
I took it personally. I was like, oh, so this is what they brought him in. They couldn't get no big name actor because no one would play this stupid crap. Like, it's just...
Wow, you took it to the next level.
They had Ronald Weasley in there. I'm like, where did he come from?
Well, yeah, my wife goes, who is that? And I go, he was Ron Weasley in Harry Potter. And she's like, what? I go, well, 20 years ago. I mean, those movies are old.
They had him play a bigot. I said, he can't be no bigot. That's Ron. He can't do that. Turned him into a frog.
Yeah, they did. Bill, did you say that you have breaking news over there?
Yes, I do.
Does it constitute breaking news?
I mean, kind of. It's something that people have been waiting on for a long time, but it's finally official.
Alan Cox Show. Exclusive news update.
Packers trade Aaron Rodgers to the Jets.
Why did I think this was a done deal like weeks ago?
He said that's where he intends to play, but they never got the official deal done.
Okay.
But now it's done. All the terms are set. New York sent this year's number 13 pick and a 2023 second-round pick, number 42 sixth-round pick.
How long did they sign him?
All these different picks. Whatever his deal was, I think he's got like a year or two left on his remaining deal. So
because it's not
like an extension,
but it's also not like Aaron Rodgers is going to usher in the next generation of Jets play. You know what I mean? Like he's long in the tooth,
but they got some good talent. They have a great defense, so he can go in there and play for 2 years with them, and maybe get them into the playoffs, maybe get a little further. So they're just taking a chance while they try and develop the guy that they drafted number 2 overall in 2020.
All right, well, there you go. Finally a done deal.
Exclusive news update.
What do they have to pay him? What's left on does it say what they have to pay him?
I don't have that information right now.
About $475,000? Is he going to make more than that?
Yeah, probably.
All right, I'm just asking. I mean, because he's got bills.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to take a break here. If you want to send a text, 35192 to get me there, AlanCoxShow.com. You can watch live and listen wherever on the iHeartRadio app.
Rover's Morning Glory.
Jeffrey is still looking for a
Limited time at participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last.
The Buzzard. The home of the Buzzard. Buzzard. This is 100.7 WMMS. Cleveland. Call the Alan Cox Show.
Idiot. Stupid moron.
216-578-1007 or 1-800-348-1007.
Three 35192. Want to send me a text? AlanCoxShow.com. Want to watch live? Do it there. Thank you to Puff Nutley for helping out back there. And your Cavaliers will play on Wednesday night. They are they're not in good shape right now. Cavs lose again in New York. They come back to Cleveland on Wednesday night to hopefully get one over on the Knicks. A must-win game on Wednesday night at the Romo Fijo. So Cavs basketball here on the Buzzard is going to be 7 o'clock. Game 5, Knicks are up 3-1, of course. 7 o'clock Wednesday. If there needs to be a game 6, that will be on Friday back in New York. Josh Hart is killing the Cavs softly.
Oh, I've seen it.
Was the headline in Sports Illustrated. And Donovan Mitchell, of course, crapped the bed too.
Yeah, he's taking all this blame, and he's owning up to it, so you got to like that. But I'd rather you play better, stupid. If you know you're playing
hey,
better,
listen,
then play better.
I appreciate that you're taking responsibility, and except one guy can't run the whole team.
Right, but the guy that's supposed to be the best player on the team can play like it.
Yeah, the guy who's setting records left and right.
Mm-hmm.
Those aren't the kind of records you want. No. I was reading about a kid named Tyrell Terry. I say kid because he's 22 years old. He only got drafted a couple of years ago. 2020, he was in the second round of the draft. He got picked up by the Dallas Mavericks, and he announced he's retiring because his anxiety and all kinds of other things caused him to not love basketball anymore. And so he's retiring after 2 seasons in the pros. I guess that's better than suicide, right?
Yeah, much better.
It's better than finding out that some young dude in professional sports took that way out. He was the first pick of the second round by the Dallas Mavericks. He went to Stanford, where he was a big, big deal. But he said the playing in the pros has been hard on his mental health. Boy, what do you think you do after that? You think about that.
I'm a mental health specialist.
Well, no, but I mean, you're 22, you're in the pros. I mean, you're breathing rarefied air. You know, all the odds are against anybody getting into professional sports, and you finally get there. However hard you've worked or however naturally talented you might be, that'll only take you so far. You got to bust your ass to get to the point where any pro team is picking you up. Mavericks are no scrubs.
Oh, they're kind of scrubs.
But I mean, you're in the pros.
You're in the NBA. You are in the NBA,
Yeah.
and that's a huge accomplishment. Not many people do that, but I can see how it would take a toll on you, and you're like, I don't think it's worth it to just continually try and, scrape by and just say, hey, you know what? I'm going to cut my losses and go figure out something else to do that doesn't make me this upset.
He spent most of his first season in the G League. He only played 11 games with the Mavericks, and then they released him, and he signed with the Memphis Grizzlies, but didn't really put those guys, it didn't do much for them. He says he's going to go back to Stanford and maybe play soccer.
All right, well, there goes the whole sports thing. That I was like, hey, maybe he's going to switch gears. But no, he's just going to play soccer.
He's going to stay in another sport. Yeah. But 22, I mean, you still have plenty of time to figure something out.
Yep.
But man, must be nice to have options like that.
No kidding.
Yeah.
You're like, boy, I'm done with basketball. I'm going to go play soccer. Or I'm amazing at this sport. I'm going to go play baseball or whatever.
It's like
you
the
just
guys
transition
that
seamlessly in between sports.
Yeah, and there's guys that get drafted in baseball and football kind of regularly. I think Russell Wilson did that. I think Pat Mahomes did that. And then they go, well, I'm going to go with football usually. Or
isn't there more money in baseball?
It's harder if I think they would have had better careers is what they went with. Like they were lower prospects.
In baseball.
In baseball.
Okay. they were like more sought after.
Like
in
if you
football.
are the top of the top in baseball,
There's
you
like
can
no
make,
salary caps.
Yeah, there's no salary cap.
So-
You can make a ton of money, but it's you got to be that top player because that drop off is pretty steep from the like top 1% of baseball players to like the mid-level guys. They're like, oh, we're gonna not pay you nearly as much.
You get $75 a game.
Welcome to Cleveland,
Guys,
Right.
I'm sorry. I'm going to pay you $75 a game.
Parking's on you, though.
That's
off the
right.
beginning.
And listen, we can't be paying for everybody's parking. All right?
There's a lot we like to use. Tell them you're a player. They'll give you $5 off.
I had to clarify our parking situation here at work last week.
What happened?
Well, I was, we had been in Arizona for a week, and so we got back, and I had come in on that Sunday to catch up on some things before the week of shows started again. I'm usually in at least once every weekend catching up on some stuff. So I came in that Sunday, and there was a Cavaliers game or there was something going on. I don't know what it was. And we have reserved parking.
Yep.
There's iHeart logos, reserved parking. Every one of them's full. And I'm like, okay. So I finally find a spot. And I didn't realize, apparently the people at the gate were like telling people, if there's an open spot, just park there.
That's what I've heard them saying.
I
that.
didn't know that. So
Yeah.
I was like, what is this? And I guess they're like, well, technically it's, your spots are reserved during business hours. And I go, well, this is a 24-hour business. I mean, what are business hours? Because I parked, when we first came downtown here, I thought that our parking placards were good for any spot. And so one time I parked in the wrong spot and I come out and there's a giant neon green sticker on my driver's side window. I'm like, son of a bitch. Meanwhile, I come in on a Sunday, there's just people parking wherever they want. One guy got out, I go, bro, they might sticker your window. And he kind of looked at me, he's like, yeah. And I go, maybe, I'm just giving you the heads up. He goes, well, lady down at the gate said I could park anywhere. And I go, okay. If that's what she said.
Does that count for handicap spots?
Probably not.
Park anywhere?
I assume she meant reserved, not like legally designated parking spots. That probably supersedes reserved. But I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It's like I parked wrong one time and I got a goddamn green sticker on my window. Again, first world problems, and it wasn't, didn't ruin my day. It's just something I'd like to clarify because I'm in on the weekend a lot. So, whatever. I was a little butthurt because I got that goddamn green sticker. Yeah, you're going with a razor blade and Goo Gone on your driver's side window.
One of those that's super hard to get off.
Yeah, it wasn't easy. But, hey, listen, I want parking to be as egalitarian as the next guy, especially in downtown Cleveland. People are always complaining about parking. So if you can get in somewhere, get in there. I just didn't know. I needed the clarification. It's not like we have our names on spots.
Right.
That'd be cool.
And like Poundcake doesn't even have a spot.
I don't have a spot.
He's going up to
Neither
7.
do I,
You don't
yeah.
either? He's going up to 7.
Today I parked on 2, but usually I'm on 4. But the real MVPs are the people who get their big ass trucks in those itty bitty little corner spots, like the ones that's not even like a full spot. It gets cut off by like the corner edge of like the
Like an exit lane or something.
Yes. I'm like, dude, I understand like you don't want to walk or it should be wider spaces, but you know how big your truck is. And if it's right on the edge, right where people are going to turn, like you make it really hard for people to maneuver. And I see it all the time and I just get so paranoid. I'm like, it takes one. I don't know if someone's behind that truck to where I might like go out and hit, or if there's somebody backing out, no one can see behind it. Like it's just very narrow and it doesn't give us a lot of space, but it's not their fault. It's a one way. And those are the parking spots that are given.
I can't believe how people fly around the corners in this
Zooming.
parking garage.
Yeah,
I'm like crawling when I leave here at night when there's way fewer cars just in general. And invariably there'll be somebody flying down. I'm like, bro, there's other, like to Poundcake's point with these trucks, you can't really see around them.
You can't see around them.
Taking a break from rolling coal out there, man.
When I was in...
You don't have balls unless you're rolling coal, man.
That's right.
When I was in Indianapolis a couple weeks ago, the NRA convention was in town. So
pew pew pew.
My hotel has a parking garage underneath, but the hotel is also connected to the convention center via like a walkway. So my hotel's parking garage was like the main parking garage. And it felt like every single car in there was a truck that was double parked. When I was like big old hippie trucks, like, and I mean like the not hippie like HIPPIE, like the like they have hips on them. Yeah. I don't know what the big
nuts.
tire, the big tire wells or whatever.
Come and take it sticker.
Huge, giant trucks taking up 3 spots. Some of them parked sideways. It was like, dude,
Sideways.
come on.
I love it.
And I get it. I mean, so Brian is very particular about where he parks his car. Like, he will drive to the roof and
What
park.
does he drive?
He just has a Subaru Forester.
Okay.
But it's brand new. It's a 2023. Like, he doesn't want anyone anywhere near it type of thing. Like, he drops us off at grocery stores and things because he will go to the opposite side of the parking lot, which I'm fine with that. It's when people will take up 2 spots or park crooked on purpose. And it makes me want to deface their car. It makes me want to key their car. Or park right next to him. You know what I mean? They leave a little sliver of a spot. I'm like, I'll take a ding for this. I'll park right next to you so you can't open your door. Drives me nuts.
Wow, all right.
It's just so inconsiderate to take up 2 spots.
I was behind a guy today in a lane where you can only turn right. And he needed to go left. And so I'm right behind him, and there's a long line gathering up behind me, and they're all laying on their horns. I'm like, I just want to see how long it's going to take this guy with a lot of traffic in both directions trying to make the left here.
Well,
it took him a while. Everybody behind me's honking their horns. I'm like, they're not honking at me.
Am I crazy for thinking, like, when we leave out of here, there's one person that, like, needs to go left, and there's construction right there. There's all the traffic that is waiting, like, especially today. It's probably going to be a game, or there's a game, so there's probably going to be a lot of traffic, and it's really hard to go left out of here. So I'm like, I will go right. I go right anyways, but I would go right just out of convenience and go around the block.
Get this stuff moving, yeah.
Not these people. There could be a line of cars going up multiple levels, and they're going to go left. They don't care that people are trying to park. They don't care if people are driving through. They don't care if people are, like, walking in front of their car. They will sit there as long as it takes. If it takes 15 to 20 minutes, they're going to go left.
Well, it's because there's a lot of people that don't know their way around downtown. So they go...
GPS, man. It's 2023.
They only go the way that they know, or they go whatever the GPS, and they don't deviate from that. And I have friends that they've started coming downtown a lot now, and I've told them where I used to park over here at the PNC lot.
That's where I always park.
Yeah, that's a great spot.
You turned me onto that one.
Yeah, and you know how to get in out, going on Superior and stuff like that, and it's just so much easier because everything gets so congested over by like Carnegie. So much congestion over there compared to if you know any of the other exits around.
I just get paranoid. I'm like, that's where road rage comes.
Paranoid.
I would never, like, make the people behind me sit for 15 minutes for me to go one direction when it's easily attainable. You can turn right out of here super easy. If there's, like, cars coming, sometimes they'll even let you go through.
Mm-hmm.
You could go right out of here. But I'm like, oh, my God, what a dick. Like, it just makes me so mad. And I just sit there. I'm like, let me just blast my Christina Aguilera and just not think about it, because otherwise.
That calms you down?
Yeah.
Genie in a bottle?
I need to distract myself.
He's like, take me away, Christina. Hey!
For real.
Get me out of this. Calgon. All right.
There was one time I thought the little bar coming out, the little arm was going to close on me because I didn't think he would take that long. There was a guy in front of me, and he was trying to turn left, and I hit the thing to open up the bar because I was coming out right behind him, and then I'm just sitting there. I'm like, oh no, this is going to come down on my new car. But I don't know how that thing works. I don't know if it has like a sensor to know if someone's
I think it does.
Underneath it.
At least 1 or 2 times a week when I'm leaving here at night, the person in front of me doesn't know how a parking ticket works.
Or they forgot it.
Or so they got and there's nobody up there.
No.
That, I've seen people get out of their car to walk up the ramp to see if there's somebody working
pull
there.
back into one of those spots.
Yes.
As soon as I see the white lights, I'm like, damn it, man. Like, he's got to go in reverse. So the whole line's got to go in reverse, let this guy out, maneuver to the side. He doesn't know where his ticket is. He's got to go to either the ticket place or walk upstairs to get somebody. I'm like.
And yet, most people get home unmurdered. Right? This is just how like society kind of lubricates itself. And yeah, there's a lot of people who don't go home unmurdered. But in all these situations that these little annoyances, we figure it out and make it work, right? People grumble to themselves.
Yeah,
Other people, they want to go key a car next to. Everybody has their own way.
I just don't make any eye contact.
Some people crank up their pop music. In my mind, I don't get angry because I'm like, this is just more time I'm alone.
Good for you, man.
I'm like, I need to hurry up. I need to go home and poop before I go to Orange Theory. Like, come on, man.
I got to go home and poop.
I have to get it all out. I don't want something sloshing around when I'm trying to be on the rower. I'm trying to focus.
Wow, sloshing around.
Or like on the treadmill. And
He's a rower, not a grower.
I pooped my pants. I ate too much corn.
Wow.
I don't like being on the road, and when other crazy drivers are on the road and I pull up next to them like at a stoplight, I don't like to see those people because I'm not going to be polite. Like I have to look forward.
Why? What do you mean?
Because if they look at me, like if I pull up next to them and I see them, they're going to look at me. Chances are I'm going to look at them and give them like a look.
What kind of look?
Like
somebody just on the corner?
Yeah, no. I'm meaning like someone in their car. If they're driving crazy, and I pull up at a light, I don't like to see what the person looks like.
Oh, you're like, I want to see what this a-hole looks like. I love to see what they look like.
I don't make eye contact.
Usually they're on their phone or something.
Exactly. I'm like, I can't look at this
At least that's an explanation, and you're not just a crazy person.
It takes a split second, and they pull up there, like, I got something for you. Yeah, you want to make eye contact with me? You want to roll your eyes, boy?
Wow. All right. So you're just concerned. You don't want to roll your eyes at the wrong person, is what you're saying.
Correct.
Yeah. Because nobody knows what's going on anymore. You got people getting killed because they pulled into the wrong driveway or went up to knock on someone's door. Old dude walks up, shoots him in the head. It's a wild, wild life, baby. The real pro move is getting a spot at a meter during a sporting event.
You can't park at those.
Well, they got the bags over them.
Yeah.
They want you paying $50 to get into a lot.
Yeah, they put signs up and they put in the littlest tiny print. You can't park here at this time and then this time.
And what happens if you do?
And if you get a ticket or you get towed or
I would say what's cheaper, the ticket or the parking garage? Because if the ticket's $25, you just pay $25.
Right, but then the chance of getting towed is up there too. And there are spots that you can park at a meter, but they're usually
far away,
a mile and a half away. Yeah,
like you can park on 6th Street to go to an event at Romo Fijo, and you're like, well, I just gotta walk 2 miles. Which in the summertime, honestly,
not that bad.
If it's like a night game and it's 70 degrees out, sure, I'll walk around downtown, But
I remember years ago when we were doing an event. It might have been when I was still doing stuff for Tailgate 19, and I had to be in the Muni lot. And I took an Uber because I knew I was going to get ripped. And I severely misjudged how close I was to the Muni lot. So I tell the Uber guy, you know what, I'll just get out here because it was a big, long line. Yeah. And he doesn't care. He's just kicking it. Yeah. And I go, I'll get out here. He's like, you sure? I go, yeah, I'll get out here. Holy Christ, I had no idea how far away I was. By the time I got there, I was like, I need a drink. Why is my hand still empty? I'm going to take a break here. I will have more money for you around 5:30, courtesy of the Buzzard Bookie. Listen for those keywords about 30 past every hour. So 5:30 is the next chance for you to grab some of that. If you want to go see a show called Dream Sonic, this is going to be one of those great metal shows that comes to Cleveland. Dream Theater, Devin Townsend, and Animals as Leaders. Awesome. They're going to play Jacobs Pavilion on July the 8th. It's called the Dream Sonic Tour. So get you a couple of tickets for that coming back. 35192, text for anything. You can watch live at AlanCoxShow.com.
It's the Alan Cox Show. Everywhere on our free iHeartRadio app or whatever smart device you have.
Just tell me to play the Alan Cox Show on iHeartRadio.
From the Universal Windows Direct Weather Center, WMMS Weather.
Tonight, a chance of early evening showers, then clear skies and widespread frost. Overnight low 32. On Tuesday, increasing clouds, a chance of afternoon showers, a high of 50. Wednesday, partly sunny, high in the low 50s.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. OMG. Hot and crisp nacho fries are back at Taco Bell, but they won't be here forever. Yeah, hot and crisp fries covered in bold Mexican spices with a side of nacho cheese sauce are only here for a limited time at participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last.
Hey, it's Alan for Window Nation. So there you are, nice and comfy in your home, and you're like, I don't have to do anything with this house. You know what? If your home is 20 years or older, and there's a lot that fall into that category, you could be looking at windows, depending on what kind you've got in there, that are getting to be kind of subpar, right? I know that there's one window at Casa Cox that I have to get replaced. I have to hit up Window Nation because it's a little sticky, right? Now, the Window Nation windows at our house, never have to worry about those. You can get brand new Window Nation windows in your home. Not only will they give you 2 free ones for every 2 you buy, but you don't pay anything at all for interest for 5 years. Life year loan, 0% financing on brand new, expertly installed Window Nation windows. 866-90-NATION is the number if you want to talk to a person. Call them there. Give them my name if they ask. You can also go to windownation.com. There's a big get a quote button. Make sure you get that in-home estimate. Schedule it, get it. You're in the running for that trip for 2 to Florida. There's a federal tax credit in the mix as well, up to $500. So a lot of boxes to be checked to get brand new, beautiful Window Nation windows in your home. 2 free ones for every 2 you buy, no limit, and 0% financing for 5 years. 866-90-NATION. Say I heard Alan Cox talking about it, or go to windownation.com.
Why are people driving from all over Ohio to get to Kent?
Jacobs Pavilion at Nautica on Saturday night, July the 8th. You can go to axs.com for the details. Caller 10, these are yours. Probably see you there. 216-578-1007 or 800-348-1007.
What feels great to do is absolutely free, can be done by yourself, and yet no one ever mentions it.
It's the Alan Cox Show on the Buzzard. WMMS.
Okay, Guardians baseball tonight, 6:10 is your first pitch here at home against the Colorado Rockies. So we're going to roll out right around 6 o'clock, get you ready for a little bit of pregame there tonight and tomorrow. Those first pitches are 6:10. Or is it first's pitch, like attorneys general? Do you think it's first's pitch?
I think it's first pitch.
First pitches. All right. If you joined us on Saturday night for 2 hours to midnight, our brand new metal show here at the Buzzard, boy, did you get screwed. Because of that late, rain-delayed back half of the Guardians double header. I think it ended up going till about 11:30. And so come midnight, the whole thing just got carved out. So we're going to do it again this Saturday night at 10 o'clock. Me, Corey Roddick, Pat Butler. With baseball in the mix, it has been difficult to kind of get some momentum going, but the people who have been listening have been enjoying it, and that's really all we care about. I will have tickets for you for a 2 hours to midnight show that's coming through called the Monsters of Oz Tour. Saturday night, we'll have some tickets for you. Parkway Drive with the Amity Affliction, North Lane, and Make Them Suffer. A band that sounds like Mary would be into.
Yeah, you know it.
That show is Friday, September 22 at Jacobs Pavilion at Nautica. So we will have tickets for you for that show on Saturday night during 2 hours to midnight. But this past weekend was a real shrimp show. So hopefully we'll have no issues. I think there's an early Guardians game on Saturday. Shouldn't cause any problems for us.
But then there's going to be a rain delay, and then before you know it.
Well, but is
15 inning game.
That's the thing. Like, I got a life to lead here, man. Come on. I think it's like early on Saturday, isn't it? Or early
it's like
enough?
4:30 or something.
There you
like
go,
that.
4:30.
I mean, the Red Sox.
If it's rain delay by 8 hours, and it's in Boston, 4:10 first pitch on Saturday. I certainly hope that the goddamn thing is over by 10 o'clock. So we can give the people what they really, truly, desperately want, 2 hours of nothing but heavy metal with me and Corey and Pat. So if you've been tuning in, hoping to hear something that you love, thank you for your effort. Gesundheit. I'll have more money for you, courtesy of the Buzzard Bookie in 6 or 7 minutes. Another $1,000 for you. Do you want more Jenna?
Okay.
You met her.
Yeah.
I'm doing this for you. I'm not doing this for me. Now that you guys are pals.
Best friends.
You and her mom.
Yeah.
Jenna and her mom went out to Bill's show in Youngstown on Saturday.
Very nice of them.
Chatted pre-show as opposed to post-show. See, they wanted to make a quick exit, didn't they? They wanted to beat the traffic.
Knew, yeah.
Did you hear her laughing? Her laugh sounds like something you would hear cut through the crowd.
I have video, so I can go back and check to see if I can hear, but I didn't specifically hear her laugh.
Was she right up front? I guess you would have heard her if she was right up front.
Right up front, no. Because they got there right about showtime.
They did.
So, yeah.
And who was your feature?
Patrick Madison was the host, and Teddy Bruno was the feature.
Do you think that she enjoyed Teddy Bruno?
I think so, yeah. He's a funny dude.
Okay. Is that a Youngstown guy?
No, he's from out here.
Okay.
It's time for Sweet Nothings with Jenna from Poland.
You know what? My boyfriend doesn't care about me. All he wants to do is sleep. So you know what? I'm not going to tell him that I'm going to play bingo on Tuesday with my friend Michael.
Right. Why would you tell somebody that you were going to...
This has been Sweet Nothings with Jenna from Poland.
Did she tell you that she was going to
She
play
did not tell me that, but I'm just wondering if that would be like
How
a
you-
betrayal. Like, is that cheating?
How can you play bingo when you're blind?
I want to know because
You have to be able to
they
see.
call it out. There's Braille bingo.
Yeah.
Is there?
Of course.
You have
Braille
to be
everything.
able to dab it. You don't know where you're dabbing. There's
I'm
little
sure they have
squares
it
you have to
figured
dab
out.
inside.
Or maybe Michael's her eyes.
He plays for her?
Yeah.
Is there a chance that her boyfriend is dead? She said all he does is sleep.
Maybe.
I don't like that because she wouldn't know. She's blind.
My girlfriend heard some of the Week in Cox yesterday when we were talking about the fart detective stuff.
Mhm.
And she wanted to know where this stands with you, Alan, especially because you have the strongest opinions when it comes to where farting is appropriate, where even a fart even counts as a fart, because you said in the bathroom it doesn't count.
I think a bathroom is the most
no.
appropriate place
No,
to
I think
fart.
I think you were right
Yeah.
that it does count. But when people, you
Yeah.
said the average person is farting all the time. I'm like, well,
Well,
I
I was being a little, I was,
Well, I don't know.
being
I
silly.
take people at their word. I mean, we're talking about farts. So during the course of the Week in Cox, early on Sunday morning, you and your girlfriend were discussing my farts.
No, we were discussing actually one of her farts.
Oh.
Because she was in the staff bathroom at her work, and it's a single-person bathroom.
Yep.
And someone knocked on the door and was getting ready to come in, and she was like, you know what? I'm in the bathroom, though, so I'm going to fart in the bathroom.
Occupado.
So they walked into her fart cloud, and she knew she was about to go outside and could have just went outside and farted there, but she farted in the bathroom. So she wanted to know if that's what you would do, or would you wait to
Absolutely.
go outside?
Yes.
You let someone walk
I think
into the
that was.
bathroom
I
fart.
think
bathroom.
That's
It's gonna
great.
smell.
Well, first of all, I don't think you can attribute a bathroom smell to any one person just because she's the most recent person to come out.
Mm-hmm.
You could easily deny that was you. Second of all, kudos on her judgment. Because why are you going to go back out into the body of the establishment and crop dust your patrons? She's in the bathroom. That's where you do it. See, I wasn't even talking about location. I was talking about people farting all the time. That seems unnatural
Yeah.
to me. That seems like a problem. If you're farting all the time, that seems like a gastrointestinal issue. Doesn't it?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's like
Constant,
you
yeah.
never stop.
Never
Well,
stop.
I mean,
Yeah.
everybody
Never
would
stop
have to. But what was the stat you threw out,
It's
Bill?
like 17 to 21 farts on average.
An hour.
No, a day.
A day.
An hour.
An hour's a lot.
All right.
Every 3
So
seconds
everyone's
you're
farting, right, all the time, right. Farting 21 times an hour. So 21 farts a day. Again, I don't know how they would possibly arrive at that information, but okay. It just seemed like a lot. And again, people aren't going to be able to account for every single fart. I understand that. But I do like her judgment. And I like that the Week in Cox, and this is what I tell people. I go, look, you have to be up early to enjoy the Week in Cox. They bury it. I get it. It's not prime time. They bury it, right? It's 8 to 10, Sunday morning. You might be enjoying your weekly worship service. And when you get out, you pop on the Week in Cox. But if nothing else, this is what I tell people all the time. I go, it's a conversation starter. Even in the homes of people who are on the show.
Right.
Bill's at home, and he doesn't want to talk about the show. He doesn't want to, but his
I love talking
girlfriend.
about the show. I love talking about
But
the
his
show.
girlfriend
Do you really?
wanted to have
For
a
real?
His girlfriend wanted to have a conversation, and so he acquiesced. He's like, fine.
No,
I like to leave work at work, honey. But
we have a fun show to talk about. If we
I'm
have
not
something
saying
to talk
we
about on
don't.
the show,
It's a fun job,
yeah.
but it's still a job.
Right.
I don't like talking. And I know this is going to be hard for our audience and maybe you guys to believe. I don't really talk outside of stand-up and the show.
Why would you?
Oh, I'm very quiet,
Like when
too.
I get home, Brian
Yeah.
hasn't talked to anybody all day. So mostly it's him telling me about what he did or like we'll maybe go over what happened over the weekend or whatever. But like a lot of the time I'm just like sitting. I don't even like having the TV on. If I'm home by myself,
You're just silent.
it's just silent. I'm just sitting quietly either on my phone or playing a Sudoku. That's why when you're like, you don't like to be alone with your thoughts, I'm like, I don't even put on background noise when I'm by myself. Like in my hotel room, I can go, if I'm in a hotel for a full week, 7 days, I won't turn the TV on one time.
Right. It's like a cone of silence.
Yes, you just sit and enjoy it because you're just going to keep talking.
You can maybe crack a window.
Maybe.
You can be in tune with what's going on outside, whether it's the sounds of the city, whatever nature might be happening outside. See, I really have had a whiplash situation over the years at Casa Cox because when I come home, really the last thing I want to do is talk.
Yeah.
Now, my wife knows this, but we haven't seen each other all day. And so she used to get kind of bent because she'd go, what did you guys talk about today? And I'd say, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know. So then I got to the point where I was making little mental notes because I knew she would ask me, and that would be part of our evening conversation. This is all pre-daughter. Now that our daughter is 7, I've come around to the point where I was ready to discuss what happened during the day because she'll still ask me, but it's interrupted by the kid nonstop.
Yeah.
How'd it go today? Well, we were doing, Dad! Yeah. And I'll go take care of that. And again, happy to do it, but I can't get in. So then I just give up. I go, it doesn't matter what we talked about today.
Well.
No, I want to know. Okay, well, we did. Hey! Okay. I can't.
That's how it is when I call home on weekends. Like, because Brian gets his daughter on weekends, so I'll call to be like, hey, guys, what's going on? Love you, miss you. And, like, yesterday, I was calling before I was on my way to the airport, and Blake interrupts on speakerphone through his car, and she's telling me about this game that she's playing. How do you think I can get past this elf in the level with the tunnels? I'm like, honey, I have no idea
I'm
what
not
you're
looking at
talking
what you're looking at. Like,
I don't even know what
like
you're referring to.
I want to engage you on this.
Yes.
I really do. It's just, it's very difficult to get any kind of momentum going when you're trying to recap your day. So
Right.
I've come all the way back around to doesn't matter.
And then I'll say something like trying to, I don't know what the game is. You know what I mean? So I'm like, well, is there like a potion you can drink or a stick that you could beat the elf with? And she's like, you don't know what you're talking. I'm like, yeah, exactly. I have no idea what I'm not
You
in
asked
the
me.
car with
I
you.
didn't know there was no elf beating stick.
Right, I don't know.
Let me give you money here. It's $1,000 courtesy of the Buzzard Bookie. Another grand, hopefully in your pocket. Good luck.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard Bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Fun. That's fun. Enter it now at WMMS.com.
If you listen to us on iHeartRadio, on the app there, tell me where. If it's out of state, I'd like to know where our bureau chiefs are. People listening all throughout North America. Dan listens in Chicago. Fat Joe is up in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Ziggy's in San Antonio. Steve is at Fort Hood, Texas. Louie is in Newark. And Oleg is one of our Canadian bureau chiefs. He's up in London, Ontario.
Hey, Alan. Speaking of names, we had our nephew Roman over the weekend, and I was listening to your show, the podcast of it, and he said, Uncle Jake, are you listening to Alan C-word? I said, what do you mean? He goes, well, I can't say that. I said, that's his name. His name is Alan Cox. It's not just a radio name. Have a good one, guys.
That's Alan C-word's even better, though.
The C-word, like Arrested Development?
Yeah, get rid of the C-word. I'll leave when I'm good and ready.
The boat was called the C-word.
Yeah.
S-E-A-W-A-R-D. Oh, God, what a
great joke.
What a pitch-perfect joke. How old did he say his nephew was? Did he say?
Hey, Alan. Speaking of names, we had our nephew Roman over the weekend, and
I wonder how old the kid is because
he knows what that is.
Yes,
what that is. Yeah.
The implication, he knows what that is. Yeah, 30 years into a broadcasting career of, let's face it, diminishing returns, I still have people asking me if it's my real name. And I go, wouldn't I have come up with a cool name if I was going to fake a name? Wouldn't I have called myself like, I don't know, Fruitcake or something amazing?
Yes, Fruitcake would have been amazing.
Something food oriented.
I mean,
if I was going to make up
Alan
a name, it would have been a cool.
Slade.
Well, that was a long time ago.
I do love Alan Slade.
And that was the 5 minutes of college radio I did.
Mm-hmm.
I was Cody Gallagher for a bit.
Right.
That's
Do you
so
have
funny.
any of those on tape?
Because
I'm wondering, I was going through, I have a giant tub of old tapes and things. And I mean old tapes, like reel to reel.
Oh, yeah.
Like Ampex tapes. And I'm like, I wonder what's on these. But I mean, good luck finding a reel to reel anymore. Even at radio stations don't even have CD players anymore.
Right.
At least these don't.
There's no throwback equipment in here.
No.
Yeah, I have
I'd have to plug one in.
I have some clips on my laptop, and then I have some on my, I almost said floppy disk, on my flash drive. So I don't know. I didn't pull all of them because some of them are like unremarkable. But Cody Gallagher, it was a phase. I was trying names out. I stumbled on a couple before I had Cobra because Cody B was just like run-of-the-mill radio name. Everyone has like the last or the first letter of their last name. So that's not anything amazing. And then I had Cody Gallagher. What else did I have? I had, oh, God, I can't remember. But then Cobra was like
DJ
the last
Cobra.
one. Yeah.
Did you have like a sounder that went after it? Was like, it's Cobra.
DJ Cobra.
Like a hiss. Hiss.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, see?
Exactly what it was.
Cobra, you really want to drive home the point that you were talking about a snake.
You're listening to Throwback Thursday with DJ Cobra on WZIP.
They're like, why does he play a sound of bacon sizzling in a pan after he talks? Oh, it's a Cobra.
It's Cobra, bitch.
Listen, when I got started in radio, you were still putting things on reel to reel. I had to record all my phone calls on reel to reel. So 1/2-inch 2-track tape. And you'd have a razor blade and a grease pencil to edit your tape. So every night, because I was my first full-time gig, I was doing 8 to midnight. I would be ankle deep in cut tape at the end of every show. So you're buying all these reel-to-reel tapes. So I was going through some of my old stuff. I go, I don't know what's on these. And there are companies that will take your old legacy media and convert it, put it on a flash drive. But I'm worried that if anything got screwed up, the original tape will be gone. So I go on, there's a couple of the like used gear apps that I use. I'm on an app called Reverb, which has always proven to be really great. And I go on, I go, maybe I'll just buy an old Ampex 2-track machine. But they're considered vintage equipment now. So they're like $15,000 used.
Oh, no.
I'm like, holy
Can you just find someone that
Christ.
has it and do it yourself that way? There's
Maybe.
got to be somebody around here that, especially with the people that we know.
There are local companies that will take your vintage formats like that, cassettes,
I would
and
just go
put
to a
them on
local one, then you don't have to deal with the mailing and insure it. if you
Right.
can, yeah.
Right.
But that's cool.
But I was like, oh, I should see, because I could just buy an old, 1/2-inch 2-track Ampex. It was like $15,000.
You got to find somebody that's got one that doesn't know what they have. Like, you got to scour.
Well, if they're listening to me now, they know. But it was like, $20,000 plus $800 shipping. I'm like, dude, the machine itself isn't worth $800. That's why it's still posted. Nobody's going to pay you $20 or $15,000 for that.
You got to find somebody that's got one that has like an estate sale.
I guess so.
Yeah, that's the way to go.
Estate sales, speaking of.
Mary likes them.
Dude, so
They're fun.
There was, in Fort Collins, it's this really cute little mountain town. If you've ever been to a mountain town, I think they all kind of look the same. They have like 1 or 2 main drag streets with the Christmas lights, and there's a bunch of like little, everything's locally owned, which is super cool. Like it's all small coffee shops and boutiques and things like this. And I was just wandering around
It's like
yesterday.
Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, I was wandering around yesterday because I had a 5 p.m. flight. My flight got changed from like 10 in the morning to 5 p.m. So I had all day to do nothing. And I'm going up and down these shops and just kind of popping in and out. And I went into this one, and this lady was like, there was like one glass case of really nice jewelry. And I saw this ring that I do not wear jewelry, okay? And I saw this ring, and I was like, that is the most gorgeous, unique ring I have ever seen in my entire life. And she was like, I just got it in from an estate sale yesterday. And I was like, seriously? And she pulled it out of the case, and I tried it on, and it was my size. And I was like, I bought it because because of fate. I felt so happy when I put this ring on. And I was like, you just got this yesterday. I said, you're not lying to me. And she goes, no, I swear. Like, literally over the weekend, I went to an estate sale, just bought this ring, and brought it in to put out yesterday. And so my brother does estate sales, and I sent him a picture of it. It's like 10 karat rose gold with very minimal amount of diamonds in it. And I was like, hey, does this look like worth it to you? And he was like, dude, I've never seen anything like that. I've seen tens of thousands of rings. Definitely buy it if it makes you happy. So estate sales, just had like a over the weekend fate moment with an estate sale. Bought myself a nice little ring.
There you go.
That's how we got Gwen's engagement ring. We drove to Charlotte because she found a ring at some estate sale.
Dude.
In some store where we went there, had to sign in. There was a vault. It's like behind bulletproof glass. It was this whole production. I was like, holy Christ.
Well, I told Brian, I sent him a picture, and I was like, I'm about to buy this. Like, I've never bought myself expensive jewelry before.
I want this old dead lady's ring.
Right. And he was like, is that even the style? Because we've talked very briefly about engagement rings, not like anything in depth or done sizing or anything like that. He goes, that doesn't look like anything you've ever said that you've liked. And I was like, well, this isn't an engagement ring. Like, this is just some cool old ring that I found. Yeah. It's like, it looks like a crown. I didn't wear it today. I'm going to wear it tomorrow when I go to Nashville for this taping thing. But it's like old and like, it looks like a crown that you would wear on your head, but it's a ring. It's really, really pretty.
Hey, Laura.
Hey.
What's up?
Hey, I just wanted to say, I don't know if you ever thought of or even what you're talking about with the real, but have you checked at any of the libraries? Because they have like any and everything out there.
That's a good point.
I don't think they. I have not. I will say I have not. But
I would check at the main branch here because they have all the newest
Do
stuff
they?
and all the oldest stuff. Yeah, I would ask around.
I thought it was more video than audio, like microfiche and stuff like that. They might still have.
You
but
can go and like rent or like not rent. Yeah, check out like artwork even. Like there's pots and pans. Like any and everything. It's crazy.
Pots and
I don't know. I would
wait a second. People
I'm
are
not
renting.
kidding, yeah.
People are renting cookware from the Cleveland Public Library.
Well, I don't know if the Cleveland one, but I mean, I've seen them like out in Colorado. They have it. Like you can rent or not rent, whatever. Check out like snowshoes or pots and pans.
Mary, when you were in Fort Collins, did you happen to go to the library where they were checking out
I was in
pots
Denver.
and? No, I mean Mary was just in Fort Collins.
I didn't see any use as you go type
Yeah.
of cookware, but I'm not saying it doesn't.
Well,
exist.
Laura, it's I will check. It's a good suggestion. Thank you. And she's gone.
She's mad at you.
Okay. I don't think she could hear me towards the end. I got a break here. We're going to roll run 6. Get you last couple of minutes there, the pregame before your Guardians start up here at home tonight against the Rockies. That is a 6:10 first pitch here on MMS.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS. And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app. Rover's Morning Glory.
Jeffrey is still looking for a place to live.
Yeah, it's discouraging. It's like it's a lot harder to rent nowadays than compared to was when I started living on Mars.
That is confusing for people. You immediately think, okay, this guy is a mental patient.
Well, no, I'm not talking about the planet. I'm talking about the street that I used to live on.
I knew that.
Think of this guy going around telling people I live on Mars.
Rover's Morning Glory.
Weekdays on 100.7 WMMS and 24/7 on our free iHeartRadio app.
Your afternoon drive is brought to you by the Ken Ganley Auto Group, Ohio's #1 automotive retailer.
With one of the best savings rates in America, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Slash to be in your band.
Next up for lead guitar. You're in.
Cool. Yep, even easier than that. And with no fees or minimums on checking and savings accounts, is it even a decision? That's banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Why are people driving from all over Ohio to get to Ken Ganley Kia, Ohio's #1 Kia dealer? To get our lowest price and payment on over 700 new Kias. Drive a new 2023 Kia Forte LXS for just $199 lease per month. $199. This is a 36-month lease with only $34.95 due at signing, 10K miles per year with no security deposit required. Plus, get our lowest price and payment on a Kia Seltos, K5, Forte, Sorrento, Sportage, Carnival, and the 3-row Telluride at any of our 4 convenient Ken Gamley Kia regional superstores in Medina, Mentor, Alliance, and Boardman. Or visit us online at kengamleykia.com. Tell them McKinsey sent you, because I want to see ya in a Ken Gamley Kia.
Plus tax tag title and doc fee unapproved. Credit through KMF. Number 1 in overall retail Kia sales in the Central Region for 1/1 to 12/31/22 per Kia Motors year-end sales report.
At Domino's, we're so obsessed with pizza, we'll try to turn pretty much anything into pizza. Sizzling pizza fajitas? Pizza milkshake. Probably not the best pizza ideas.
or 1-800-348-1007.
Exciting and new. Come aboard.
Guardians baseball on the way. First pitch run 6:10.
We're expecting you.
We'll roll here in a few minutes. Celebrity cruises. I was just talking to the in-laws over the weekend about how many cruises they've been on and how fun that is. And Gwen and I have gone on about 3 cruises over the years. They were all technically junkets, and 3 is more than enough. You read about people who opt to live on cruise lines. It's not cheap, but they have everything kind of taken care of. You know, retirees of means. They call them cruisers. These are people who live year-round on a cruise ship. And they're like, I've got everything I need. There's a doctor, and there's all this stuff. But for people who are just going on vacation, it could be a good time, except for Marilyn Jones, whose husband died on the Celebrity Equinox while it was sailing in the Caribbean. He died mid-cruise. Now, cruise ships, they really do have everything that you need, including a morgue. Turns out that their morgue was not operational for whatever reason, and they ended up putting the guy's body in a walk-in drink cooler. And they didn't find out about it until they got to port. They asked the woman, they said, listen, our next port is in Puerto Rico, and we can have your husband's body picked up there, or we can keep it in the ship's morgue until we get back to Fort Lauderdale. Now, that was still 6 days away. She said, I don't want to mess with Puerto Rico. I'll choose the latter option. So they said, we'll put him in our morgue. Except when the ship got to Fort Lauderdale, a sheriff's deputy and funeral home employee got out there and found that the morgue had been out of service. So I guess they're only lucky that one guy died because they discovered his body on a pallet in a refrigerated walk-in drink cooler.
Dude, that's so gross.
And obviously those coolers, you know, they're cold enough to keep drinks cold, but they're not refrigerated to keep a body in good shape. And so it was warmer than the temperature you would need to prevent decomposition.
Oh, God, this is just getting worse.
The wife is now suing for extreme trauma because her husband...
why the buffets there are not my favorite thing.
Right.
Yeah. The husband dies on the cruise, and when they went into the walk-in cooler, his body, been there for 6 days, had turned bloated and green.
God, that makes me want to puke, dude.
So the family's like, well, now we can't hold an open coffin funeral for him, open casket funeral, which she said was a long-standing family custom. I'm sure the lawyer told her to say that. Oh, you've got to tell him that no one in your family ever has closed casket due to the advanced state of decomposition. So this lady has to grieve her dead husband, but she gonna get paid. This lady is going to get paid.
Yeah, but...
They're looking for $1 million plus, courtesy of Celebrity Cruises.
Oh, that's not even that much.
It's really not.
Oh, my God. I thought you were guys talking about like hundreds of millions of dollars. I'm like,
Not
okay.
hundreds of millions. That's insane.
Well, I think these days, if
they
you're...
aim high.
But I think if you're at all savvy...
You can get more than $1 million.
You got to...
sure.
Yes, but you also have to understand, you know, cruises are just bouncing back from COVID.
Right.
So... You know, maybe their thought is, well, let's be realistic about this. The woman, her 2 daughters, and 3 grandchildren are seeking $1 million plus in damages from Celebrity Cruises.
I would say at least, you know.
How do you have a cruise ship, by the way, with an inoperative morgue? I mean, like I said, they're lucky that this one guy just died. Because it could have been a hell of a lot more people than that.
When people die on cruises, do you hear about them? Like, how do you know?
Like
Only if they become zombies. Oh.
They make the lady stay in her room. Like, she's not allowed to come out and talk to anybody
Just
because her
sit and shiver.
husband died.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, because I've been on one cruise in my entire life, and, like, granted, I was a kid, but I just don't know how would work it around. Like, I don't want to be on this cruise anymore with a dead person.
Oh, hey, homie.
They would have to keep it quiet.
If somebody dies on an airplane, you have to sit there with them. You ever been on a flight where somebody died?
No.
I've been in a flight where somebody died. I was in like row 7 or something. They were in row like 29, and word gets around fast that there's a dead guy in the back. They just cover the body.
Yeah, but it's not doing anything. Who
They
cares?
can't put him in. There's no morgue on a plane. They got to throw him in cargo.
Yes.
So the person has to sit.
All of a sudden, you're a check bag.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry, ma'am. You can only have one carry-on item.
Mm-hmm. We'll give you an extra bag of peanuts, ma'am, for your mental anguish.
Would you rather sit next to a dead body or a crying baby?
Crying baby.
Crying baby over a dead body?
Yeah.
Dead body ain't doing anything.
Yeah, but it's dead.
Sir, we're so
There's no
sorry that
soul.
your wife died. Hey, I've been married a long time, all right? It's like when she's in bed with me, am I right? We got to go. What do you have coming up, William?
I'm going to be in Grand Rapids this weekend. You can get tickets. Go to BillSquire.com. You can see all my other upcoming dates. Check out the latest episode of The Bill Squire Show on YouTube or iHeartRadio or wherever you get your podcasts. And check out my comedy special, Pure BS, on my YouTube channel as well.
Mary Lynn?
My comedy special, Nothing Matters, is also on YouTube. You can follow Mary Santora Comedy on TikTok or Instagram, and that's it.
Poundcake?
Radio Coda B, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok.
Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. I'm out there at Alan Cox Show. Anything you missed today, go to the iHeartRadio app or wherever your shows pop up. You can leave messages there on the app as well if you prefer to watch the show, because why wouldn't you? You can go to alancockshow.com and voicemails, after hours line, 216-986-8903. That's it. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Charlie Sheen on the show tomorrow. He's going to call in around 4:30, talking about An Evening with Charlie Sheen, which is this Friday night out at Northfield Park. Also going to do a screening of Major League and whatever else we can get to tomorrow. Guardians next. 6:10's your first pitch here at home against the Rockies. And I will see you in hell.
And now I must leave you as the Brady Bunch is on, and I find 4 of those children incredibly arousing. Get out of here.
Be careful of what you say. Be careful in every way. Be careful of what you do. Big Brother is watching you. Be circumspect and discreet. Stay light on your mental feet. One slip and you know you're through. Big Brother is watching you. Conform with all directives. Remember, obedience pays. And when you watch that TV screen, remember it works both ways. You'll disappear in a wink unless you can double think. You'll vanish into the blue. Big Brother is watching you.
The Alan Cox Show. On our free iHeartRadio app and your favorite smart device. Just tell it to play The Alan Cox Show on iHeartRadio.
I'm having trouble trying to sleep. I'm counting sheep but running out.